is Dolynny TV. Glad to have you aboard here this morning as we're going to fire up for the World Juniors. Obviously, the preliminary tournament getting underway now today on Boxing Day. Yeah, finally here, finally time, and we're looking forward to seeing what Canada can do later this evening. But first, this morning, we have Sweden versus Slovakia as we kick off the unofficial secondary part of the channel, which would be the World Juniors coverage every single Christmas, New Year's time. I think biggest thing this year for me personally is there's a lot of time that's been freed up thanks to the way the holidays have fallen. So I hope you all had a Merry Christmas, and I hope you all have a good New Year if I don't catch you again before we get into the medal rounds. But obviously, now today we get to celebrate the other holiday that is part of the, trifecta with Christmas, New Year's, and the World Juniors. So we're going to see what Sweden versus Slovakia has for us today. I think most people figuring that Sweden, Slovakia, and Canada are your top three favorites this year. And obviously we'll see how that pans out for us as Canada's got a long way to go here in this tournament to replicate success in the past, but also not replicate the failures of last year. So we'll see what we can manage here today. But friends, thanks for being aboard. Appreciate you hanging out as we get set up for today's Sweden versus Slovakia game. As far as we know, not much to really know about it today, as even TSN doesn't really have much on the game page websites. So we'll wait back and wait for it to get underway. But obviously today too, 4-game slate. I don't know if you're too familiar with that, but today it's Sweden, Slovakia, Germany, USA, Switzerland, Czechia, and then Canada and Finland. That one will go at 5:30 p.m. Switzerland, Czechia goes at 3, and then Germany, USA goes at 12:30, all times Mountain Time. So Canada, Finland, that's a great matchup to kick off the tournament. Just like anybody that is going to face Sweden is going to be a great matchup as well. Just simply because when you got Canada, Sweden, USA in this tournament, it's going to be a lot of fun, a lot of very good high-scoring games, and some hopefully good goaltending. I know Canada had some good goaltending there in those preliminary or pre-tournament games. Preliminary is now. So we'll see what that eventually waits out to be for Team Canada, Team Sweden, and Team USA. Team USA obviously has a pretty stacked goaltending lineup, just one guy in Trey Augustine. So be interesting to see how that all shakes out for them. Gio, good morning to you, friends. Welcome aboard if you're just joining in. We've got Sweden versus Slovakia here this morning on the channel as we get set up for the World Juniors. First day of action in the preliminary rounds, and looking forward to seeing what that ultimately shakes out to be for us, right? That's what it comes down to, is just kind of get into the swing of things, get into the feeling that is the third holiday of the holidays, that being World Juniors time. So we're just waiting for this one to get underway. We should be up and rolling around 10:07. That's kind of about when I think estimated puck drop will be for both teams tonight, or this morning. I guess tonight for those of you over in Sweden, or this afternoon probably. I don't even know what local time is in Sweden right now and what's local time in Slovakia. Let's go figure that out. We got the old clock, we can figure that out. Clock. Let's go here. Stockholm. Stockholm, Sweden. It is 5:43 in Stockholm, Sweden. So there you go. Learn something new every day. That's good to know. As we got 5:43 p.m. in Stockholm, Sweden, and it's by the way, 5:44 a.m. in New Zealand. So interesting to keep there as well. As we'll go quickly check on Slovakia right now and see what do we got for times over there. Let me search. Okay, well, that's fine and dandy. It's probably all around the same time over there in Sweden, Slovakia. At least one would assume within 2 or 3 hours. So we are going to get going as I embarrass myself on that front. Don't worry about me. Time zones are not my favorite subject in school, I'll tell you that much. But Canada takes the ice at 5:30 p.m. today, but it's Sweden, Slovakia at least to get us kick-started here this morning. So we're going to see what kind of happens here for both teams today. As Sweden like I'm saying, if you're just tuning in, a favorite in this tournament, kind of like pretty much the favorite. I think Canada, USA kind of tied for second place in terms of favorites in this tournament, but Sweden, given the team they have and given just kind of right the other teams in the tournament, I think Sweden's got the edge at least right now. So it'll be interesting to see kind of how that all works today. Slovakia, I mean, not necessarily a great challenge for Sweden, but still a team that has kind of put Canada on the cusp of heartbreak a couple of times over the past few years, it feels like. So they just showed the Connor Bedard goal in overtime. So keep in mind, Slovakia has been improving year over year, and we'll see if that ends up being the trend here today against Sweden. So we got plenty of time to go still. 15 minutes before puck drop, or maybe even 20 minutes before puck drop officially gets underway here tonight. So glad to have you aboard again, friends, if you're just tuning in. So again, I wouldn't repeat myself near as much if I had more material to go off of. I guess that would be the way to put it, as there's really a lack of material, at least for this morning's action for Sweden. Bruce Kurlock of Oilers Nation saying that his pick is the USA, and not certain it'll be close. The only issue is inexperience on the blue line, but it's a dynamic group. Canada, I think, will be challenged to score goals against good team, and Czechia in the semifinals will be tough. So that's kind of the idea here for Team Canada and for Team USA and Team Sweden, is there's a lot of good talent on all three teams, but like I said, it's probably in my mind Sweden. Sweden is probably the team that I'm going to take to win the tournament, just based on, right, you kind of look at how they played against Canada until Canada suddenly burst the dam there in the third period. But if Sweden can kind of play hockey like they did in those first two periods against Canada, then we should be pretty good. So you're right. You're thinking Slovakia will clean the expectations and go for a medal. Well, I'm going to tell you, it's going to be interesting to see who's in that bronze medal game this year. That's the one thing, right? Obviously, if there's three favorites, Canada, Sweden, USA, who is that fourth team that rounds out the medal games, right? And I mean, third, fourth place, still a pretty commendable position in this tournament this year. And if a team gets hot like Germany, Slovakia, those guys can ride it all the way out to a bronze medal game, maybe, even squeak out a victory in overtime or something to get into the gold medal game. But in terms of gold medal, I think, right, there's only really three favorites, but we'll see how it goes. So there we have it. We're going to get going here with, oh man, losing my voice. Give me a sec here. Oh, there we go. That's a little better. So we'll see what happens here, friends, in this tournament this year. But I don't know. I'm hoping, you're right alongside you, that there's a little bit of a surprise, or there's a little bit of something to this tournament more than, the usuals. I think Czechia and Finland have earned their way to be usual medal favorites this year. But if there can be somebody that sneaks up the ladder this year, that'd be absolutely fantastic. So see what happens here in this year's tournament. I think the round robin ends as it usually does on New Year's Eve, and then we get to action January 2nd. Let me check the calendar here. I'm pretty sure that's the case. Yeah, so January 2nd, off day, 4th, 5th. So we end on a Sunday this year, which is really, really nice. That's something I've been waiting for a long while, to be able to sit here and stream both the bronze medal game and the gold medal game, and that's where we're going to see what happens here for both teams tonight and everybody else in the tournament. So we'll see how it goes, but we're still waiting for puck drop here, friends. About 11 minutes away from getting things going here today. Obviously, as I'm seeing comments in this comment section right now, do I also broadcast the game? Unfortunately, I can't. It is copyrighted material of TSN here in Canada, so if I were to broadcast it, the old channel gets the old live streaming ban, and basically the whole situation that is my channel kind of goes into disarray. So we're not going to afford a ban today, we're gonna just, hey, we'll keep you updated. We'll keep it going, and we'll see what ultimately what I can do for you here on the live stream myself. So we'll see what both teams have in store for us as we get closer to puck drop. Now officially 10 minutes away from getting things going this morning. It's 10 a.m. local time here in Alberta, Canada today. So we're looking forward to what should be a warmer day. I think we're supposed to be above 0 degrees Celsius again today. So that's nice and comfy. And yeah, it should be a very good day to just sit back and enjoy some hockey, get outside maybe for a walk with the dog a little bit later on, and then from there we go forward to tomorrow, then Saturday, then Sunday. Miss, I think, all the games on Monday because of work, and then here we are on Tuesday, back to the half days, back to the day off, with a situation where we might be able to catch all the games on Tuesday. So that would be lovely for sure as we continue along here, waiting for this one to get underway this morning. There isn't really much to add. Sorry, friends, if you're wondering why I'm just yammering about really nothing. It's a 10 a.m. puck drop, and there's really no information here when it comes to the TSN website. At least today, they don't even have anything for box score or anything available, no lineups. So that's kind of where we currently sit going into this morning's action. I'm going to quickly check a little bit of background information I have to see if I can find something here on this. So no, nothing. Looking for it. I don't think there is anything. Yeah, I don't think there's anything really that's going to tell me what our lineups or our starting goaltenders are today, so that's kind of unfortunate. But yeah, Team USA's got their final game day. They will take on Germany in its opening game today. And yeah, there's not really much else to really add up here this morning. So unfortunately, we're just going to have to go into it cold and see what happens, see what the measure of it is this morning. So friends, thank you so much for just hanging out with me and listening to me yammer. I know it's not the best, but once we get to game action, we'll have something to talk about. I promise you that. So other than that, like, it's been a quiet day on social media. There's not really much else to navigate here on the live stream yet this morning. I figured we'd have a little bit more to talk about, but unfortunately there's really not that much information out about today's game between Sweden and Slovakia yet. So we'll survive, and we only have 8 more minutes to get through today. I think as well, if you're tuning in wondering what the odds are about Canada winning the tournament, it's going to be interesting to see if they can score against good teams. That's kind of what the consensus is for a lot of folks this year, is if Canada can score against the good teams in the tournament, then Canada will come up with a medal effort one would almost be certain of, as redemption is desperately needed after last year's terrible loss. I mean, you could call it a tragedy, but a tragedy would be a bad bounce, whereas that was just Canada scored 2 goals in the tournament in their final 2 games of the tournament. So a little bit of an embarrassment for a country that normally, has a lot of firepower. So unfortunately they just couldn't get it done last year, and they're going to try and get it done this year. JBM, where can you stream the game? If you go to tsn.ca, find the live button. I believe you can get a World Juniors pass for $10, so it's like not much, and then it just expires in a month, and you basically go into TSN and you're able to watch for the month as long as you're in Canada. That's the big thing I gotta mention. If you're in Canada, tsn.ca/live is where you want to find the game today. I know it's a paid service, but you might as well pay for it, just simply because then you have access to every single World Juniors game, and you're not sitting there scrambling for whatever game you're looking for. So again, that would be what I tell you here today, is just go pay the $10. Heck, I think they even have sometimes a free trial this time of year. So Don't quote me, but yeah, definitely get over to tsn.ca, and for $10 it'll be, hopefully if Canada wins the gold medal, the best $10 you've spent this Christmas. And I assume they should have a chance to do that alongside Sweden and the US. So Canada, United States, Finland, Germany, Latvia in Group A, Sweden, Czechia, Switzerland, Slovakia, Kazakhstan in Group B. So you got to figure, for those of you watching for Slovakia today, that Slovakia will have a good shot to finish in the top 3 of that round. So hopefully we'll see what happens here. So we'll keep waiting for puck drop here. JBC, am I going to be doing any of the play-by-play? I'm hoping to, but again, I'm not too familiar with either team yet, so we'll just kind of walk ourselves through it a little bit here and learn as we go along. The road to gold this year, Canada versus Slovakia, is Craig Buttons from TSN's projected quarterfinal matchup. USA versus Switzerland, Sweden versus Germany, and Czechia versus Finland. They have Canada advancing over Slovakia. I assume USA over Switzerland. And then that will kind of start to sort itself out a little bit here, as I think it would be also Sweden and Finland. Probably the likelihood here is USA goes down to the other bracket. And then we got to kind of see how he's going to project it here. I think it would go Sweden, yeah, right there against the USA in the quarterfinals. This has already been broadcast, but I was a little under the weather when I was watching it, so I don't really remember much with my eyes closed. And then Finland, I assume, goes ahead over Czechia. Yeah, that's the case. So Sweden, USA, Canada, Finland, kind of the projected semi-final matchups for this year's tournament, thanks to Craig Button. And then the gold medal game, the bronze medal game, going to be interesting to see how that shakes. As Canada, he projects, will go to the gold medal game. That's a bold projection this early in the tournament. I'd like to see how they fare today against Finland before I make any claims about them for sure being in the gold medal game. But hey, to each to their own, and we'll take it with a little bit of happiness there, as Canada, USA is the projected gold medal final for this year's World Juniors, according to Craig Button of TSN. So that's interesting to see, but also on a good note, good to see that he's got Canada that high. So we'll wait for puck drop here. 3 minutes away, friends, and Craig Button does indeed have Canada winning gold this year. So again, it's going to take a lot of goal scoring depth for them to be able to get to that level of winning, but we'll ultimately see if they can do it here this year. So thanks for being aboard, friends, for the pregame show so far. Well, what I would call the pregame show. If you're looking forward to staying tuned throughout the World Juniors, I would encourage you to hit that subscribe button here on the channel today. Just one thing you can do to find. If you can't find a live stream to watch, at least you got me updating you or hanging out with you, whatever you want to say. And if you haven't left a like on the stream yet, definitely make sure to do that. It just gets it out there to those who can't find a stream. At least they've got this. At least they've got a live ticker for the scorer, and they've got somebody keeping them updated with what's happening on the ice there. So as we currently stand, we'll go back to the scores here and get back over to the scoreboard, the game page, as we close out the World Juniors pre-tournament pre-show, and we get forward to the actual hockey game here in a matter of moments, something to actually talk about. Given the lack of information we truly had to begin this broadcast, I thought starting at 9:40 would be a good idea, just kind of get all the early birds in there and really enjoy a little bit of hockey before we get to the hockey. But unfortunately, there was nothing really published about today's game. This morning's game, I guess, would be more accurate. And that's where we find it. So hopefully for Sweden and Slovakia, we have lots to talk about today. That would be absolutely awesome. But there isn't anything else going on that we can talk about yet. So Tim Stützle took the time to visit the Germany squad today ahead of their opening match at the World Juniors. That's good to see. He's supporting his country and getting things going for the younger guys. So here we go, friends. We close out the pregame show. It's 9:59. That's Canada's home ice advantage. 15 medals in 16 events as host. 1 6th place finish. Wow. and silver, bronze. Yeah, 6 and 2. So Canada's more likely to not get a gold medal if they get a medal than they are to get a gold medal in the 16 previous times they've hosted the tournament. So I guess we're going to have to find out if we can find a way to get a gold medal here today, and starting today, I guess, as we get forwarded to Championship Sunday next week. So we are rocking and rolling and locked and loaded for today's World Juniors game, friends. It's Sweden. It is Slovakia as we get things underway for the first time this year. We're looking forward to having the call for you here as we hopefully see both teams come in with a great effort today and a great game. As we'll have to see what Sweden has in store. I think a lot of folks have said Sweden's weakest position is goaltending. I think everybody's weakest position overall at any point, except for maybe a couple of countries right now, is goaltending. There's very few and far between great goaltenders left. And I don't know if it's just because of playing time or what, but Canada is definitely a country that's been struggling for the past little bit to find great goaltending, especially at the international level pro. And now we're going to see if they can get that started here in the pipeline somewhere along the way today against Finland. But first off, it is Slovakia and Sweden. We've got the Slovak flags flying in the chat right now. Miroslav, welcome aboard, friends. I'm a huge Sweden fan. Just I mean, as an Oilers fan, right? There's a couple of great Swedes we have on our team, but at the same rate too, I love the underdog as much as anyone else. And I think Slovakia, if they have a great tournament, can really push the envelope here this year and get things going. I think it's going to be awesome to see kind of if they can get this done here against Sweden, or if they can just kind of get something fun done against Sweden today and make it a really tight, close finish. Dustin, you're wondering where you can stream the actual game from. Yes, friends. Unfortunately, I can't show it here because it's copyrighted material of tsn.ca TSN, the broadcaster, but tsn.ca is where you'll find it here in Canada. So unfortunately, due to copyright laws, I can't show it. But that said, where you can find it is on tsn.ca/live. It's going to cost you about $10 for a month's pass to TSN. That's at least last year's cost, but they might even have a free trial if you figure something out there. But basically, sign up. Instead of wondering where you can find the game or searching for a sketchy stream or having your stream die on you halfway through or whatever the case might be, sign up on tsn.ca, just a month membership, and all it'll end up costing you is whatever, a few bucks, and you get the full World Junior schedule, every single game. You can tune in and catch everything, and ultimately that's kind of what you want out of it, right? You want to be able to just catch the World Junior games you want, so a little cost isn't really going to be the end of the world. But that said, you have to be in Canada. I think in the States it's on NHL Network, and probably nationally across a lot of other nations, it's on the NHL Network as well, a rebroadcast of the States broadcast. So friends, thanks for being aboard. Welcome into the Dolynny TV this morning. It's 10 a.m. We're just about to get to Canada Finland here at 5:30. Sorry, keep mentioning that. I just got to remind myself that I got to be back here later on today. No, Slovakia Sweden is coming right up for you, and we'll have the play-by-play and the call for you on the live stream today as we look forward to seeing what both teams have in store for us today. So I'm wondering why I've got dual audio going. It's because TSN always has a live player on the score page, so keep that in mind, as well as if you're going to check the scores and stuff and you've bought that membership, you might end up getting dual audio simply because TSN allows you to watch on the game page as well while you're watching the stats update and such. So here we go, friends. Brian Mudrick, Craig Button in the broadcast booth here, getting us set up for today's action. Looking forward to seeing what's going on with these guys today. Brian Mudrick, obviously a longtime TSN personality. Same with Craig Button, as both sporting a lot more gray nowadays than maybe a few years back when myself was a kid watching the World Juniors. But it's good to see everybody still. TSN's kept a lot of big personalities around, which is huge, and it just makes it feel like home for the holidays every time you're watching the World Juniors. So JVC, who do I think is going to win overall? I think it's going to be Canada if they can score against the better teams. I think that's a good way of putting it. I think Bruce Kurlock put it best. But I'll tell you, I think Sweden, USA have just as equal of a shot. And I don't know if that's just picking and choosing multiple options on your question or what, but I would assume that it's going to come down to those three teams this year for the medals, at least understanding overall wise. So here we go, friends. Good morning to you. Welcome aboard. Thank you for being around for today's live stream. Again, if you want to hang out and catch some more World Juniors coverage throughout the tournament, definitely make sure to hit that subscribe button here on Dolynny TV. You don't have to do it today, but if you do it on your way out, that'd be great. I know I'm kind of closing in there on 17,200 subscribers at this point, so it's been a journey here over the past few weeks, months, as we winded down to Christmas and the Oilers started winning again. So obviously when the Oilers do good, things aren't nearly as crazy on YouTube as they are, but we're getting ready for busy season today, which is this next 2 weeks for the World Juniors. It's always a chaotic good time. We are expecting puck drop here in the next about 4 minutes or so. They're still just trying to figure out all the pregame stuff on the ice. So as we keep along here tonight, I will remind you as well, it's Sweden versus Slovakia first, and then we go to Germany, USA, Switzerland, Czechia, and then Canada versus Finland. So Switzerland, Czechia, they're going to be getting up bright and early in the middle of the night over there to be able to watch the game today. And I think that'll be pretty exciting to see some of those folks lit up and excited for their countries to do battle in the mid-afternoon game. Canada, Finland closed it out today at roughly 5:30. So we'll see what exactly that pans out to be for time, but you kind of get where I'm going from. They're already taking their sweet time getting things underway today, and that usually costs you time and space out there in the live streaming world. Is the longer it takes to finish this game, the longer it takes to ultimately get to the next game, if that makes sense. As they will not wait to get the next game going, but I will have to wait to get the next game going. So here we go, friends. We're still just waiting to get things going here today. So we are just still watching the panel, or at least the desk, talk about the game a little bit here today outside of TD Place, I think it is. Yeah, TD Place in Ottawa. And we'll see Sweden and, yes indeed, Slovakia do battle here today in the World Juniors opening game for 2025. As both teams about set for puck drop here, they should have everything done on the ice now, and we should be up and ready to get things going. As both teams obviously looking for a good positive result out of this game. For Slovakia, even if you don't beat Sweden, your biggest positive result for you would be winning the goal differential battle, right? Is if Slovakia wants to have a chance to finish in the top three, maybe even top two in the pool B, what the biggest thing for them is keeping that goal differential down in the games that they lose, right? If you're going to lose by 1, lose by 2, don't lose by 6 or 7, and all of a sudden that's going to do you a lot of good here for you. So hopefully that is the case today for Slovakia. A good tight game against Sweden, and see what happens. As Jay Coulter, it's on Hulu if you have Hulu. Okay, that's good to know. So if I'm assuming that's in the States. So if you have Hulu in the United States, you can catch it there. I think that would be a rebroadcast on ESPN, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not really sure who the rights holders are in the United States anymore. I know TSN's had the tournament pretty much my whole life, so that's kind of the case right now for me. Coming from Canada, it's pretty much tsn.ca/live, and that's really all that it comes down to for you. So friends, here we go. Puck drop just a matter of moments away as we come back to the desk right now, and everybody was texting and talking and doing stuff as everybody's going to line up and talk to the goalie first. The referee's wearing microphones and also wearing a GoPro. So you get the ref cam this year on TSN's feed, the Lions officials as well, wearing microphones. So an interesting, different look. I don't think I've ever caught that before. Melker Thielen will start for Sweden. And then in net for Slovakia, see, the biggest thing in broadcasting, always know your goalies. Samuel Urban will get the start for the Slovak side. And that's where you have it. So we'll see what happens as Magnus Havlid, the head coach for Sweden. And then you've got as well for Slovakia, the head coach is Ivan Finas. So there you have it. Sal, are all the World Juniors going to be aired here? Unfortunately, I can't air them due to copyright. But with that said, friends, let's get going. Let's get this up and underway. Sweden, Slovakia, center ice face-off as both teams dig in for the draw. And we are ready to rock and roll at TD Place. The referee talking things over with the players one more time before dropping the puck. The whistle blowing. And here we go. We're ready to get underway as Slovakia wins the face-off back inside their own zone to the far side corner. Around, Slovakia hammers it along that far side wing, and it just bobbles out of the zone, and Sweden retreats back to their own end here, going to the far side. Poke check there by Slovakia holds up the attack for Sweden, and we are officially underway 17 seconds into tonight's action. Slovakia will skate up the left wing and fire it out into the neutral territory. Sweden gets a stick on it, wiped out as the Sweden player recovering that puck as it's fished to the near side blue line inside the Slovakian end. This is going to be flipped by Slovakia for a line change into the far side corner. Sweden, biggest thing they always have is they always have some absolute giants on the blue line. And so far, still looking to be the case. Is Slovakia, though, doing a lot of the pushing around here early in this game. A couple of hits here to begin action as Sweden transitions out in the neutral zone. It's cut off by Slovakia and then hammered back to the Sweden blue line, where Sweden will try and re-up the attack around behind the goaltender Urban as this goes along the far side board now, and Slovakia will try and come out with it along the left wing and just dump it in. So both teams so far just kind of feeling each other out. Looks like we have an icing here as Gustafsson, number 7 for Sweden, touches up. And Sandin Pellikka, the big prospect to watch here today for Sweden, skating on the first pair. So he'll get a lot of ice time, I'm sure. And they're going 7 defensemen today as well, 18:45 as is tradition in the World Juniors anyway. Sweden digs in for the face-off here inside the offensive zone. They're able to keep the puck alive. The shot from the point blocked in front off the boots of somebody in front. And that puck will bounce around the Slovakian end a little bit here as loading up now. All of a sudden another shot goes whistling wide there. So this goes around near side point. Sweden down their left wing. Shot off the wing, ends up going up off the post to no to play. As that one goes for a whistle. Okay. So this is the difficult part. I really don't know either team so much so here this year. So bear with me. We'll survive. And of course the voice is failing me a little bit here today as well. Kind of been dealing with a little bit of a sinus something or other here over the past little bit. So JM Hidden Hockey is showing the game for now. Yeah, that's the big thing. Like I said, your best bet is, if you're in Canada, to buy tsn.ca live streaming membership for just a month. Get it for a month and use it for the World Juniors. Cancel after the next month renews, and away you go. So 18:07 to go as Slovakia and Sweden really haven't gotten much going here early in the game so far. Both teams battling for ice out there and trying to find out what they can do with this start of the hockey game. We're only 2 minutes in here, and Sweden is able to take advantage of a sloppy turnovers from Slovakia. No one could make a play with the puck, but unfortunately this has been the case the game so far through the first 2.5 minutes. Neither team holding on to the puck all too well to begin today's game. Slovakia with a turnover at their blue line. The shot loaded up, rebound goes up over top of Urban, and then it goes to the side, and he denies that chance as well. So a couple good cracks there for Sweden. Finally, probably the best chance of the game so far. And they're content just to tip it back into the offensive zone after Slovakia cleared the end, as they'll go now through the neutral, will the guys in blue. And it's forced back out into the neutral by Sweden. Nice little tap at their blue line to keep the attack at bay. And this is going to be Sweden laying the body for, I think, the first time all game I've seen. Now this puck battling around behind the boards as Sweden will pick up, backhand off the wall. And here comes Sweden back the other way, 2-on-2. The pass to the middle cut off, and again still both teams struggling here mightily early on to keep control of the puck out there, as that'll be Stenberg firing it in for Sweden. Urban came out to take a pass at it, ultimately didn't even end up touching it, and the puck comes free at the blue line. And here's Sweden again maintaining possession at their own blue line as they'll fire it in, or actually carry it in. That was a good little head fake there, had me rolling. With 16:26 to go in this first period of play, both teams really not giving up too much of anything so far. 2 shots for Sweden, and that's the only way we've seen it to begin tonight's action, as this will be going to the middle of the ice, Sweden to the far side, and hammered there by Slovakia. But again, that just both teams unable to keep track of the puck in the offensive zone or in the neutral zone, at least to begin today's action, which is a little disheartening for both teams. I mean, it benefits Slovakia, but I think as somebody who's viewing Sweden as a favorite today, you would love to see Sweden be a little bit more dominant out there with the puck here, at least early on. You know, if you're going to win a hockey game, put it away to bed early, and definitely build on your goal differential as the game goes on. That's kind of the name of the game at the World Juniors sometimes. But this one, shot fired, save made, and hey, you know what? Thielen just got tested as Slovakia got their best chance of the game as this goes to the far side. 15:24 to go here in this first period of play. Both goaltenders now with a save registered, so good to see Thielen's into the game now, and Sweden is obviously up 2-1 in shots, but Slovakia's got a first shot of the game as well. So here we go now inside the last 15 minutes to play in the first period, and this has been a pretty mundane first period. Both teams tight checking, both teams turning over pucks pretty rapidly. Shot through traffic from the blue line for Slovakia. Just about found a tip in front, but it ends up going wide. And Slovakia, I'm telling you, they are a hard-hitting club here this year. They have thrown quite a few body checks on Sweden so far that have definitely landed along the boards as Sweden piles it up through the neutral and fires it down into the near side territory inside the Slovak end, as this will go back up along the boards, and this will be fired to the near side. Slovakia trying to get through the neutral zone, and to the far side, Sweden will end up getting that puck, carrying it offside with 14:19 to go here in this first period. Oh my goodness, this one's going to be an absolute disaster class if both teams just cannot hold on to pucks, as they're showing that sequence for Sweden where they got the turnover at the Slovakian blue line and then fired a couple shots on the goaltender Urban, but he was able to make the saves and ultimately keep this one 0-0, as you see there on your score sheet. 14:13 to go. The puck bounces out of the corner rapidly right into the slot in the Slovakian end. They're able to transition back to the neutral zone, but again, for either team, any team trying to hold on to a puck here in this morning's action, I don't even know. I guess out in Ottawa it would be this afternoon's action, but either team trying to hold on to a puck, it's been brutal out there, that's for sure. As this one comes up now, Sweden into the far side corner, battling there, will end up freeing it up and trying to get this one going to the far side boards. Couldn't do it. Slovakia on the turnover, gets it at the near side blue line, ripped the shot from the point. It goes wide. Good recovery at the far side point. Another shot ripped through traffic. Thielen sees it steered into the netting, and that will do it for this little bit of a sequence, at least to begin the hockey game, friends. We're approaching the midway mark here in this hockey game, and both teams still struggling to put up a presence in the score sheet. At least this afternoon's action is still tied 0-0, and both teams surviving any bad bounces that have come their way so far. So it's been really a tough game in terms of turning over the puck quite a bit here to start for both clubs, and just in terms of getting a shot on net, neither team's really dominated that whole situation either. So we'll see if Sweden and Slovakia can kind of pick up the pace here this afternoon, but it's kind of what it is. So looks like wow, Todd McClellan just took over as Detroit Red Wings head coach. All right. as Derek Lalonde has been relieved of duties. So, wow. Okay, that's big news in the NHL today. Sorry, friends, that just kind of takes me back as Todd McLellan takes over as head coach in Detroit. I believe, isn't that where he was before with Jay Woodcroft and everything as an assistant coach? I think that was something that was happening, memory serves. All right, here we go. So Team Sweden, last 5 World Juniors results: silver, 4th, bronze, 5th, bronze. So pretty much every second year they are guaranteed to get a medal over the past 5 years, so keep that in mind. Here we go. Let's do this. Sweden back to the action. They've won the face-off inside their defensive zone. Drift a shot on Urban. It goes off of him into the corner. Slovakia able to battle it out into the neutral zone as this one comes along the near side wing. Pass for Sweden inside their own zone after the recovery. Will get it out to the neutral territory as this one's backhanded along the near side wall. Sweden still trying to keep alive that puck, but both teams just struggling to handle the puck, at least to begin today's action, as it's been 3-1 the shots for Sweden, and we're almost 7.5 minutes into the hockey game. So, as Turn, you're saying it's been a snooze fest. It has been, in all essence of a word, snooze fest, just because both teams just don't seem to want to get started here today, and it will be another play in behind the Sweden net. And that's one thing that Slovakia's at least had right today, is they've been hammering the body on Sweden quite a bit. Sweden's got 9 returning players this year from last year's World Juniors, so a good turnout for Sweden in terms of the returning group. Like I said, that's why that probably makes them favorites this year. Slovakia battling along the near side wall, trying to come up with that puck out to the corner. Now Sweden is going to come up with it behind the net and go to the far side point, and here's Sweden activating, getting an attack going. Here we go, possibly the first real good cycle opportunity of the game, but Slovakia defending well, sticking the lane, deflects the puck out of play. 11:57 to go here in this first period of play. 4-1 the shots, and at some point I still got to start learning some players here for both sides. But 926 winning percentage in the round robin for Sweden over the past 16 years. But a 143 winning percentage when it matters most in the gold medal game, as there's some Sweden fans on the Jumbotron right now at TV Place. I don't even think they have a Jumbotron, they just have a makeshift screen. But the last gold for Sweden is in Calgary, Edmonton back in 2012, as here's a pass across. Now Sweden's loading up for the captain across the line, scooted away by Slovakia again, and then Slovakia turns it over inside their own zone, right up high, pass to the middle, poke check towards the net. Both teams battling for it in front, and just as it has the whole game so far through the first 8.5 minutes, nothing comes of anything, and this will be Sweden backtracking into their own zone defensively, and Slovakia can't make the pass across the blue line cleanly. That allows Sweden back the other way. Guy falls down. I don't know if the ice is terrible out there or what, but this has been a brutal start to the first period for both teams. Unable to handle a puck, unable to keep things alive, and Sweden's able to backhand it towards the blue line where it's chipped out of play for a face-off outside the Slovakian blue line. So this one's been a different story compared to, I think, what I was expecting out of Sweden today, but I guess really beggars can't be choosers. We are underway at the World Juniors for the first time in 2025's tournament, and Aiden, I think, needs some goals. Yeah, I would agree with you. It's been a very slow first period for both teams here. Stenberg, number 25 for Sweden, the 25th overall pick in the draft. So here we go. Face off ends up all the way back inside the Slovakia zone on the dump, and now Sweden digging in along the boards trying to keep that puck alive. Slovakia, though, you know what? They're just going to dig it free, shoot it out into the neutral zone, and now Sweden makes a pass that deflected. They still connected. Here's the shot from the point, blocked in front, rebound right in front. Ends up being a diving effort for the Swedish player, but just couldn't steer it to the far side pad for the tap-in stick. As Sweden continues pressure here in the middle part of the period, as they'll come down the left wing. The shot not coming. There's a penalty upcoming to Slovakia, the first one of the game, This one goes along behind the net. Sweden dangles out of danger. Back to the blue line, mishandling the puck. Be interesting to see how far we go without a whistle here, at least to begin this delayed penalty, as we're already probably about 15, 16 seconds in. And now working on 20 and working on 25 as Sweden fires it around the boards. And there's still a delayed penalty upcoming, but the goaltender Urban got a hold of it. And that will be a stoppage in play. There's a cross check coming to the Slovakian player in front, dealing with traffic in front, kind of put him stick in the back and knocked him to the ice. Is this one right here? Yep. Looking for the tap in was one of the Swedish players, Eklund, and just couldn't get it because he was knocked to the ice by the defenseman for Slovakia. So as we continue along here, friends, today, thank you for tuning in on the stream. Appreciate you hanging out with me. Again, if you are new to the channel, I encourage you, it should get better as the week goes along, just simply because, unfortunately, right now, the problem is a little bit under the weather, a little bit of nasal stuff going on. So if you are new to the channel, consider hitting that subscribe button. Stick around. It'll get better as time goes on, I promise you. And that Canada-Finland game should be an absolute riot tonight on the stream. So encourage you to come back live here at 5:30 p.m. And Ole, I would love to show the stream if I could. Again, first off, the stream that I'd be able to copy is copyright protected by TSN on their website, and secondarily, too, it is copyright infringement if I steal that. And YouTube doesn't treat that so nice for a guy that has a channel like mine, right? I mean, for somebody that just creates a channel, yeah, you can usually get away with it. But for a channel like mine, it's a big, big issue, unfortunately. Again, I would say if I could, I would, but unfortunately I can't, friends, and that's why you're stuck with what you got. But again, if you are in Canada, tsn.ca/live, it'll be the best $10 you spend this Christmas season. As we go 9:57 to go in this first period of play, 2 minutes. The power play for Sweden winding down to the 7:57 mark or sooner till that man is out of the box. So here we go. We've got the face-off to the right of Urban in net for Slovakia. The face-off pushed back for Sweden as they'll come along the near side point and then down the near side wall, back to the near side point, and Sweden starts methodically setting up the attack, looking for that open lane. Slovakia hasn't given them many so far this game, only 4 shots to begin today's action. The one-timer miscued by the near side dot player. I don't know who that was. Maybe Sandin Pelika, as the shots ripped, blocked in front by Slovakia. And I mean, full credit, Slovakia has just come in with a workmanlike effort here today to just make sure Sweden stays off the board. 9:22 to go, half a minute gone in the power play. Slovakia again with a good knockdown in front, able to chip it out to the blue line of Sweden, and that will do it here for the first 45 seconds, almost a minute of the power play as Sweden carries across the line at least 50 seconds. And now this one to the near side. Again, Sandin Pelika back to the point here for Sweden. Sandin Pelika again walking down to the dot, looking for that near side one-timer. Gets it, and Urban swallows it up with the left shoulder. Good to see there. Big save for him. And this one now again, Pelika fires it, and it's battled right in front. Hops right in the crease, and then Urban able to make a huge save right on the goal line, swallowing it up with the chest. And that was a dangerous looking bounce, but Sweden just could not come up with the favorable bounce that time. And that's about the best movement we've seen out of Sweden all game. Sandin Pelika sees it knocked down by Urban on the shoulder. Joe, welcome aboard, Joe. Good to see you, bud. As yeah, I'm hoping you're having a Merry Christmas. I know we've had a quiet few days here in southern Alberta, right? The weather's been nice, it's all been good. Now we're enjoying the World Juniors. They love to see it. Sweden shoots that puck off the face-off. They missed wide, and it ends up back in the neutral zone as this one comes back across the line to the far side. Offside, Sweden swept it out of the zone. So with 33 seconds to go, we'll have a face-off outside the Slovak end with 8:30 to go in this this first period. So we are rocking and rolling as both teams just trying to get a feel for it still. Slovakia only the 1 shot in the hockey game, but of course Sweden with 5 so far. And for them, I feel like that feels low. Doesn't that feel low? I think that feels low. as we go along the near side boards. Back out, Slovakia fires a puck down the ice, and no tripping call on that clearing attempt as Lindstein, maybe there is against Wahlberg. Maybe there's a trip. Yes, there is. They blew the play dead. A little bit delayed. Sorry, my apologies. 8:14 to go in this first period. 17 seconds remained in the Sweden power play, and now we'll have 4-on-4 for the next 17 seconds instead. And Merry Christmas to everybody tuning in, but no, Merry Christmas to you specifically. Thank you for being aboard this morning as we see Wahlberg go off for tripping with 11:46 gone in this first period of play. Not much, but Slovakia will get a chance to set up an offensive zone draw, and potentially, if they can keep it in the zone for 17 seconds, an extra man coming out to help on the power play. That would be a huge asset for them. As here we go, face off down. Slovakia able to win it back to the blue line. They've got 15 seconds to kill with puck movement, 4-on-4 here inside the zone. They're going to fire the first shot and score. Just like that, Slovakia, Dalibor Dvorsky fires the first shot of the 4-on-4 and absolutely fired it, scoring the goal for Slovakia. That's a beauty of a goal. I don't even like that. Just bang, bang, back of the net like that. And that was a beauty right there for Slovakia. And Sweden in unfamiliar territory, I think, in most tournaments, is they don't usually find themselves down in a preliminary game. But what an absolute shot there by Dvorsky, firing it past Thielen. And you watch him walk it, and then just release it. And that was kind of what we saw to Thielen against Canada in the pre-tournament games. Is he kind of similar to maybe certain Edmonton Oilers goaltender, overcommits to a puck and ends up giving up some bad angles sometimes, and that's one right there for him as Slovakia scores the goal that makes it 1-0. So only their second shot of the game, and they're still going to get a power play for minute 43. But right now we got 10 seconds left on the 4-on-4. This one's one back down to Sweden's end, as this will be Dalibor Dvorsky's first goal of the tournament, the first goal of the tournament from Chromiak and Strabik, as both the passes were crisp and Dalibor Dvorsky able to fire it home on the one shot that came on the 4-on-4. Yeah, that's the only shot that was around. So here we go. Face off now. Led to a whole bunch of sloppy play. We're on the power play now. I kind of lost track, trying to keep track of myself here, but we've got a minute 20 to go nonetheless on the power play for Slovakia, as this will be loaded up through the neutral zone. Slovakia across the line. They actually do connect there. It would be quite something to see them score on their next shot as well, as Slovakia looking to work along the left wing inside Sweden's end as they'll boot it back to the blue line. Slovakia fires the shot, blocked in front, scramble in the crease. Thielen is down. Sweden able to clear it out to the corner, and this one will wrap around the near side boards for Slovakia to maintain pressure as Dvorsky comes up with that puck, passed it down low, continues out of the corner again, back to the blue line. Pass to the blue line, ends up in a shot, save made. So there you go, another shot for Slovakia to begin tonight's action. They have almost tied Sweden. Both teams very limited shots through 14-ish minutes. 5-4 Sweden leads. This one's turned back now to the Slovakian blue line. Shot fired down low in behind the net. Slovakia to the far side. Looking to backhand this one down again into the corner. Hits the referee along the boards. Comes back to the blue line. Back to the blue line again. The shot ripped from the point. Blocked by Sweden. And now they're starting to get in lanes here with 6 seconds to go in the power play for Slovakia. Back to the blue line again. Over to the old side for the one-timer off the dot. Goes up out of play. And that was a wicked release from the far side dot, but still one that doesn't hit the net. So 6:12 to go here in the first period of play. 0 goals for Sweden, which just, again, the way they've had some bounces here this game, you would have figured maybe they would have bought one earlier, but it is instead Slovakia that's got the only goal of the game, up 1-0 to begin action here today. And friends, thank you for tuning in. If you're just tuning in, appreciate you hanging out with me today. Like I said earlier in the stream, not at 100% today, kind of fighting off some nasal congestion, so my apologies there, but 6:08 to go in this first period of play. Slovakia near side inside their own zone, looking to pass this puck through the middle, again cut off by Sweden, and that has been Slovakia's downfall, is moving that puck towards the Swedish end, whether it be through the neutral zone at their own blue line or the Swedish blue line. It's cost them a couple of times. That'll be an icing call with 5:49 to go in this first period of play. As there you have it. So, Chad, it's 1-0 for Slovakia. Yes, it is. I've got that on the screen right now. Unless you're tuning in to the stream way long ago, you might want to. I don't know. I guess if I'm not speaking to you in real time, I want to double check your stream. But why am I behind the action again? Welcome to live streaming in real time. There's a delay on the broadcast I'm watching, and there's a delay on the YouTube side of things. Not much, but 40 seconds or so is a lot to be behind. 5:43 to go in this first period of play. 5-5 the shots, 1-0 the score for Slovakia, as Maxim Strebic, a second round pick of Buffalo, and Dalibor Dvorsky, 10th overall for St. Louis. In 23, Juraj Pekarczyk, third round of St. Louis, and I missed the fourth guy, but you understand where I was going with that. Albert, good morning to you. 5:38 to go here in this first period of play. Sweden inside their own zone, looking to skate this one out to the far side. We'll move along the wing and get it across the blue line, pass into the middle, cut off there by Slovakia. They'll flip over the glass. No, I thought that went over the glass. It did not, and then ends up getting flipped down instead to Thielen, who was able to steer it onto a Swedish stick, and now they're going to go down the right wing inside the Slovakian zone. That was a very lucky miscommunication at the blue line. Ended up being poke checked by Slovakia, or Sweden would have been miles offside, or else ended up really hurting themselves other ways. Is this Slovakia again stealing a puck at the blue line, looking to work this one up the near side blue line near Sweden's end. That didn't work out. Instead, it's just tipped into the far side corner, and Sweden's able to come up with this puck and roll out of their zone again. 4:45 to go here in this first period of play, as I am struggling to keep up, but it is what it is in a 1-0 score for Slovakia along the near side wing. Slovakia through the neutral zone, going to be taken out there by 3 Swedish players. Was the player for Slovakia driving it deep inside. And here now Slovakia sending Pelika up the right wing. Nice little passing play there. Is going to find some space for Sweden. But what a play there by Urban to come out and challenge that puck. A shot fired from the blue line, blocked in front. 4:15 to go here in this first period of play. Sweden turning over the corner, looking back to the blue line again. Near far side point, is going to fire down into the corner. That was a one-time opportunity right in front for Sweden. They could not jam it home, and now here's an opportunity for Slovakia to come back the other way. An old school hip check along the far side boards there for Sweden, and now there's a little bit of pushing and shoving, and somebody's lost a mouth guard on the ice there for Sweden, as somebody's going to go rolling to the bench rather quickly there, as this is behind the Swedish net now, as Huberg will play this puck to the far side. This one's going to be picked up now by Sweden, backhanding it across, and they are going to get to the attack right here. Pass to the middle, can't do it, and here we go, 3:29 to go in the first period of play, as Sweden will pick it up and work to the far side boards, and again enter the Slovakian zone. But Slovakia definitely just good pressure on pucks. Sweden, though, that time forechecking, able to get it back to the blue line. They'll step across and work around to behind the net. A fortunate bounce there, lands right in front on the pass. Sweden able to keep it alive. Slovakia with poke check at the blue line, getting Sweden going back inside their own zone. So some good, little bit of sustained pressure there for Sweden, but still again the capitalizing has not been their strong suit so far. Shots fired around the boards inside the Slovakia zone. Again, Slovakia too has been kind of slow getting to some of the pucks inside their own end, and here's Sweden going along the near side. Now back to the blue line. Miscommunication. The pass gets past the blue liner, and 2.5 minutes to go here in this first period of play. Puck along the end wall inside Slovakia's zone again. Sweden all of a sudden starting to control play on the right side of half for them here to begin the final few moments of this first period. Sweden rolling around the near side. Dot pass to the middle. Backhanded glove save by Mr. Urban for the Slovak side, and that'll stop play dead in its tracks for right now. So we will have a moment to get a new pin message going. And again, friends, I will also remind you that unfortunately, due to copyright laws in Canada, I can't exactly show the game. I know some people choose to, and well, there's a reason their live streams don't end up lasting as long as mine will. Mine guaranteed to not fail you. Yes, I know the play-by-play is a little shoddy here this morning. I apologize for that. I don't know very much about Sweden, nor do I know much about Slovakia, but also a little under the weather, a little bit of nasal congestion that I'm fighting through today. So at least you have something to keep you updated. But again, if you're in Canada, it's going to cost you $10. Go to tsn.ca/live. Choose their welcome offer. It's a month-long membership, and it'll get you through the World Juniors, which is exactly what you need at this point this year. So that's what I would caution you to do. As I'm going to take a quick second to tell you where we're looking here on the stream today. We are at a grand total today of 36.7 hours on the live stream. So thank you so much for being aboard. We've been live just over an hour now, and obviously we've had, for the most part, pretty slow hockey game until Sweden suddenly here in the last 3 minutes has started turning it up inside the Slovakian end. 2:16 to go here in this first period of play. Slovakia up 1-0, wins the face-off inside their own zone, and they're going to fire it out into the middle of the ice. Two Slovakian players had the same idea, fired a body check into each other instead of a Swedish player though. And now, well, just like that, we're inside the last 2 minutes to play here in this first period of play. Slovakia in behind their own net will come off the end wall and pass the puck away to Sweden. A bad turnover right at the near side dot. The shot from the blue line ripped off a Slovakian player in front, goes wide. Sweden, though, starting to move things around rather quickly inside their own end, or inside the offensive zone, sorry, as this one goes to the far side wall. Slovakia just trying to get to a puck. Sweden's just making it hard on them. Here we go. Sweden fires the shot from the blue line, deflects in front, and I mean it trickled an inch wide, and then they fire a puck towards the net on the rebound. Stenberg can't believe it, but Urban made the save, and it looks like we are going to go to replay here on this potential goal, as Stenberg believes he has scored for Sweden to make it a 1-1 hockey game. And who was that? Turnsy's looking for that over 1.5 here, but look at this, a good sequence here for Sweden. A shot from the point blocked off of somebody, and then it goes across the body of Urban, but I think the stick of the number 28 for Slovakia kept it from crossing the line. And we're going to go review things here quickly, but the ref cam right here as this one comes behind and Sweden jumps through the crease. That puck goes across, and you can't see it from that angle from the referee, so I assume that's why he blew it no goal. As if you look at the overhead here, which could overturn it, the shot as Slovakia's goaltender was outstretched and got hopped over, and that did not fully cross the line, so we will have no goal for Sweden on that one, as we'll watch behind the net cam. And this one across right there, nothing to be seen from. So there you go. What a chance for Sweden, but Slovakia just lucky enough on a couple of bounces here to begin this game to keep that puck out of the net. That puck was up on edge but never fully crossed the line, so a huge save for Slovakia. Stenberg cannot believe it. We've got the official under review right now, and well, as far as the replays show, that will not count as a goal for Sweden. It'll likely be just a good old face-off inside the offensive zone and count as a cover for Urban. Another save made. Sweden's up to 8 shots here in this first period. Slovakia with, well, 5, and they lead 1-0 at least to begin things today. So 1:25 to go in this first period of play. The Slovakian fans in the stands waving the flag, having a good time, and we're going to have things get back to action here as the referees get ready to make the official call, at least to tell us what happened on that play. And we're going to see the referee explain himself and wave it off. No goal for Sweden. It came close, but not quite. With a $1:25 to go here in this first period of play, we're going to get things going again with a face-off inside the Sweden zone. Slovakia has been lucky to be good and good to be lucky here to begin tonight's hockey game. Their first goal of the game, a beautiful, beautiful shot from Dalibor Dvorsky, but obviously not much in the way of offense since then. And with a $1.25, they've got to survive this late push from Sweden. As this one comes to the near side point, Pellikka fires the shots, and Pellikka fired that one up over top though. And this one will be getting going behind the net here, as this will be 1:14 to go here in this end wall. I don't know where that puck is. It played by a high stick, 1:08 to go in the first period, as it went over top of a player, and then it was knocked down by a high stick as they tried to get it going again. So 1-0 the lead for Slovakia, 1:08 to go in this first period, and Sweden continues to push late in this first period as the puck fired along the wall goes into possession for Pellikka. Now picked up by Sweden across to Sandin Pellikka on the far side. He'll play along the far side wall, tipped into the zone there by Sweden. They continue to push here against Slovakia late in this first period. The last 5 minutes have belonged solely to Sweden here inside this game's first period, as this puck's behind the end wall now, as this goes right in front. Sweden again just can't find a tap in front of the net, and this will be picked up and fired back inside Sweden's territory. They gather at their own blue line, across the line to the far side. 30 seconds to go here in this first period. Picked up, Slovakia gets it stolen away as Sweden scrums it up along the boards. They come up with the puck again. 20 seconds. They got to find some magic here to tie this hockey game late in the first period. Puck over to Pellikka. The shot save made with 13.6 seconds to go. A little bit of pushing and shoving between Slovakia and Sweden. And we will have a stoppage and play with 1-0 the score between Slovakia and Sweden here late with 13.6. Man, this has been a slow game, at least to start, from both sides. And, well, ultimately it becomes now a pretty eventful final 5 minutes for Sweden and Slovakia. Sweden takes control. They fired quite a healthy amount of shots here in the last few minutes, about 4 or 5 of them. 12 seconds to go. Slovakia able to force it out, fire it down around the end wall, and it's going to be a battle here for the puck. Nice play there by Sweden to get it going. 2 seconds remain, and that will do it for the first period of play as they rip the shots towards Urban from their own blue line, but it's not going to do anything there, and we will have a stoppage for the first intermission. Friends, thanks for being aboard here to at least start action today. I'm going to take a quick bathroom break, go refill the water bottle. Again, I will encourage you, if you haven't already, consider hitting that subscribe button here on Dolynny TV. Stay tuned for what will be a fun rest of today's game. Obviously, especially if Sweden and Slovakia want to play this slow, it could be very well anyone's game. So it's Dalibor Dvorsky with the first goal of the hockey game, the only goal of the hockey game so far for Slovakia as they lead 1-0 over top of Sweden currently. It's been a solid start to the hockey game, at least for Slovakia, in terms of being the underdog in today's matchup and needing a good effort to get somewhere here against a team like Sweden. And obviously being up 1-0 after the first period of play is a pretty huge accomplishment for Slovakia today. And hopefully they can continue carrying that on as the game goes along. But friends, thank you so much for tuning in to Dolynny TV today. Appreciate you being aboard. Honestly, it's been a pretty fun day to actually wake up to. Obviously, Christmas is a huge day, but you got to remember the World Juniors, that's kind of my bread and butter for this time of year. The Oilers on break right now. The Oilers having a great little bit of a season here now all of a sudden. Their best record at Christmas time in the past 10 years. So it's been a good time to be an Edmonton Oilers fan as we go here to refresh and see what we can figure out about today's action as we go to preliminary round information. And you look here for Sweden, 9-5 the shots. Both teams 0 on the power play because it was a 4-on-4 goal that Dvorsky scored, the only shot of that 4-on-4. And then right now as you have it, you have Dalibor Dvorsky from Jacob Kromiak and Maxim Strabek, who obviously won that draw, I believe is how that went. So 2 penalties in the hockey game so far, neither team able to get things going early on. But we'll see what things ultimately translate out to be by the end of tonight's action. Again, friends, just going to take a quick moment to answer some text messages that have come in here. Sorry, just taking a moment. There we go. We should be good. Just trying to also check if there's anything that I am missing in the back end of the stream or anything we're missing. Anything else we're missing here? I think if you're an NHL fan and you just missed the news of the day that Detroit Red Wings fired Derek Lalonde and have hired Todd McLellan as head coach. So keep that one in mind as well. Todd McLellan is now head coach of the Detroit Red Wings, so that's awesome to see. What else do we have here? I don't think there is anything really else. Yeah, I think we are good to keep rolling here, friends. As yeah, we are waiting for this second period to get back up underway. It's been a good effort so far, like I said, for Slovakia. Dalibor Dvorsky finding the way to score that goal, an absolute wicked wrister that finds the back of the net on Thielen in net for Sweden. It was a beauty of a shot, and obviously one that was very much so needed. That was only their second shot of the game, and they get it to find the back of the net, so that's a massive get to be up 1-0 after the first period for Slovakia. It'll be interesting now to see kind of what Sweden's response is. You started to see a response from Sweden late in that first period. That last 5 minutes, they pretty much played the whole time inside the Slovakian end, but Slovakia's had a really good defensive pressure, getting in lanes, making sure they're keeping Sweden to the outside, knocking down pucks, making it hard for them to get a pass to the middle. So that's been a big key for them today, but definitely be interesting to see if Sweden can keep moving their feet a bit more here, as they did take a tripping call. So that'll be the other side too. Sweden has to out-hustle Slovakia today. I mean, that's one thing that as Canadian fans we know from Slovakia is they are a heart and hustle team. They probably aren't going to outscore you 8-5, but they definitely have the ability to sometimes outwork you if you're not careful, and that's kind of what's happened here, at least to begin a sloppy first period between Sweden and Slovakia. Is Slovakia dug in that little bit extra, got that one shot they needed to be up 1-0, and that's where they find themselves after one period of play. So we continue along here, friends, waiting for tonight's this afternoon's, this morning's, whatever it is, wherever you are in the world, action to get back underway on TSN. Again, if you're wondering where to watch the game today, if you're in Canada, watch on tsn.ca/live. They might have a welcome offer where you can get a discounted package that will allow you to watch all the World Juniors games as they happen this next 2 weeks. And then if you're in the United States, as far as I know, it's available on Hulu over on ESPN or else the NHL Network, so keep that in mind as well. And if you're international, I assume it would be available on the NHL Network if that's a channel that you have access to. So for the first period scoring summary, as we review that one more time, it was Dvorsky for Slovakia from Chromiak and Strebek, and that's really all there was. I mean, a 9-save effort from Urban in Slovakia's net, and then you've got 5 shots on goal for Slovakia. Thielen at an .800 save percentage to begin things here tonight. So Slovakia's got to be feeling good about themselves, at least to begin action this evening, and we'll see if they can keep it going here this morning. So, oh boy. Buddy is looking rough. I think everybody's probably looking a little rough after Christmas. Of course, that is to say Merry Christmas to everybody back home as well. Thank you for tuning in on what is kind of Christmas day number 2 when the World Juniors kick off. Boxing Day is always a massive day for me. Seems like the last few years I've woke up sick over the past few Christmases, and it's just nice to be good enough to go today and get you a broadcast up here on the channel. So we'll survive, and we'll see what ends up coming of it here by the end of today's hockey game, as we still await to get back after commercial break here and get back to action between Sweden and Slovakia. Biggest thing you also got to know, I don't think there's anything else. Let me see here. Shots. Yeah, there's really not much information available on the tsn.ca website. But Samuel Urban, the star of the hockey game so far, keeping this one scoreless. Sweden did have, if you're just tuning in, a golden opportunity to score a goal. The puck kind of came out of the corner after a big bounce in front and was shot back towards the net. Bounced off of Urban onto the goal line, swept away by number 28 for Slovakia, and then it ends up being a huge stop. Ruled no goal by the referee right on the goal line, and ends up being reviewed and still held up, so that it could have been 1-0 by a matter of inches, but it's not. They end up making the save to Slovakia, and that ends up keeping this game right where it is, 1-0 for Slovakia with just over the first period. So yeah, we'll see what ultimately can happen here in this second period. Hopefully a good second period upcoming. That'd be huge. I think that'd be very welcome from us. It'd be excellent to watch kind of the goal scoring start to heat up here in this second period. That would be a little bit of a blessing in disguise, because it was a very slow, sloppy first period from both sides. To be honest with you, a very slow and sloppy first period. Could have been a much better puck management from both teams, but neither team really held on to the puck near as much as they should have been able to. And a lot of turnovers high at the blue lines, whether it be offensive or defensive, and a lot of just mismanagement of the puck. I mean, Sweden was thankful that they ended up having a puck poke checked off their stick, because if they didn't, man, it could have been... if they would have forced that any deeper, they would have turned it over, and it would have been a giveaway in terms of a glorious chance on net for the Slovakian side. Matt, does Canada play today? Yes, they play at 5:30 p.m. Again, if you're in Canada, I encourage you to check out tsn.ca/live. If you don't have a way to watch the game, go up there, sign up for the month membership or whatever, and just pay the $10 and you'll be good to go. Canada versus Finland at 5:30. I'll have the live stream here on the channel for you today as well. That's kind of my plan today, is to do Slovakia, Sweden, a little bit of United States, Germany, probably the second and third period of that, and then the first period of Czechia, Switzerland, and then yes, we'll go for the 5:30 puck drop between Canada and Finland. I know it keeps saying 5 p.m. on the broadcast, but that's because they're going to do the special presentations beforehand and stuff, and kind of actually truly kickstart the tournament for us with tournament coverage to begin the Canada-Finland game. So here we go. We've got an interview with one of the Team Canada players with Mark Masters, and that would be Sam Dickinson, the 11th overall pick in 2024's NHL entry draft for the San Jose Sharks. So Sam Dickinson, an important piece of the future in San Jose. He's looking to project very well, and he's going to be a key contributor on the blue line for Canada this year. That much is for sure. As we continue along here, friends, we are looking at, a matter of getting awards the final few minutes before we get to truly what will be the second period starting. And I'd like to say thank you again for hanging out with me here today. I know I haven't been at my best, but still 58 hours of you guys hanging out over the course of an hour and 20 minutes is a pretty special achievement in my books, I would say. So appreciate every minute you've spent with me. And I mean, that's kind of been the average today, is about a minute spent. So it's a little bit better than the normal World Juniors, where we're hovering around, I don't know, about 48 seconds. So appreciate that, as we're looking for any information we can find on today's game, and it doesn't look like there is anything going on social media in regards to this morning's action. So we'll just wait for the broadcast panel to bring up something that we know about today's game, but there isn't really much to know about today's game other than it's been a sloppy and slow start to action, and you wish you got better from both teams in that first period. For Slovakia, though, they're pretty dang happy to be winning 1-0 after this first period of play. Now, does that hold up longer term? Probably not. You know how it's going to end up panning out. It's going to be a tough finish for Slovakia if Sweden continues to control play the way they did late in that first period. But friends, with that said, I'm going to take a quick minute to run upstairs again. So if you're new to the channel, consider sticking around, subscribe, and come back for Canada's game today. But I'm going to take a quick minute to go upstairs, refill the water one more time, and get right back to it. All right, friends, give me a moment. I forgot my water bottle. All right, let's do this. Let's get this second period underway in a matter of a few moments. We're almost ready to get back live here as we get things going, and we should be ready to rock and roll for what should be a good start to this second period, if both teams are ready to engage and get the next chapter of tonight's hockey game going. So hopefully that is the case as we go Slovakia versus Sweden. 1-0 Slovakia. Brian Mudryk welcomes us back aboard. It's been a good start for Slovakia. The biggest thing is they need to maintain it over the next 40 minutes, and that will be a hard, tough task against a very good Swedish team that hemmed Slovakia in their own end for the last 5 minutes of that first period. So it'll be interesting to see if they can kind of keep things rolling here this afternoon, but we'll see what Sweden has to say about it as well. Like I said, I've been no bones about it. I know I'm a huge Sweden fan too, but I am cheering hard and heavy for Slovakia here today, just to make things interesting, right? If Slovakia beats Sweden, then all of a sudden every bit of chaos can happen this year at the World Juniors, as we have a face-off inside the center ice dot, and we'll get things going. Dvorsky in the draw. He loses that one. Well, Sweden wins the second opening draw of a period, and this one goes back behind the net for Slovakia on the dump in from Sweden. A couple of passes, ends up in almost a turnover, and ultimately Slovakia able to come up with it behind their own net. Nope, the pass ultimately is a turnover there as well. And now this is going to be battled along the wall. Sweden, the stronger team, coming up with it, sending Pelka. The shot fired, save made by Urban. And here we go. Sweden fires another shot up over top of the net, and it'll roll out into the Swedish end for a recovery for Sandin Pelka. We're already 40 seconds in to this second period of play, as this will roll around behind the net, off the end of the net, and this sending Pelka up the right wing as Sweden tries to get the attack loaded again. Slovakia, though, proving to be all kinds of difficult here, turning over a puck. The shot! Save! Rebound save by Thielen. Not a really hyper dangerous chance, but Thielen stands his ground and is able to make a couple of key saves there for Sweden on Slovakia's first two good chances of the period. As this will be bounced off the boards by Slovakia out of their own end, turned over to Sweden at the center ice line, and then this will bounce across now for Sweden, loading up a shot from the slot, and that exploded the stick of a Slovakian player who blocked the shot up over top. 18:34 to go as Slovakia knocked down to the ice here, and it'll be turned over to Sweden as a Swedish player fell to his knees as well. Blue line walk for Sweden across down the left wing. Sweden rolling into the corner. And this will be Slovakia fighting off the absolute pressure here from Sweden. Enough to get it out to the blue line. But Sweden gets the turnover. Loads up another shot from the blue line. And that will be stopped by Slovakia. Block in front. Here's the thing. Slovakia is not a very fast team, but they are a very heavy team. And that's kind of played into their hands here, at least to begin things today, as Sweden's had to contend with a hard-checking, hard-working Slovakian squad. It's been good to see so far. 17:47 to go in this second period of play. The shot fired up over top of the net near side. It's going to be Sweden clearing it back to the blue line. Slovakia can't come up with it on a couple of bounces. And this one will be now worked out to the far side. Blocked there by Slovakia again on the exit for Sweden. 2.5 minutes gone, and Slovakia, to their credit, has more so dominated this first period than anything. Urban is bumped into by a hard net drive there for Sweden. Didn't have the puck, but it is kind of two players colliding together and ending up in the goaltender's crease. Slovakia, a bad board bounce. They just have not been able to read the boards at all here at TD Place. 4-17-1 all-time versus Sweden at the World Juniors is the record for Slovakia. 16:58 to go in this second period of play. Both teams battling along the wall. Slovakia sees it worked out by Sweden. Sweden coming back the other way into the offensive zone. Dragged to the middle, can't work out. And this one will be shot again towards the net. And that is a shot bounced off the boards again. Sweden just battling here inside the offensive zone as they have all game, coming up with pucks. Slovakia has really struggled with coughing up pucks inside their own end. Still battling here. We have not really had a whistle at all, I think, to start the period. It's both teams along the wall there. 16:30 to go here in this second period of play. Shot fired, scores. What an absolute rocket there from the far side dot. And Sweden ties it up at 1 apiece. That was a beauty of a shot right there. And it ends up being a beauty to tie it 1-1. And Slovakia, right, they've had some trouble here in this hockey game coughing up pucks in their own zone and getting outworked by Sweden on the forecheck, and that is the case here, as that ends up back of the net, glove hand side on Urban, and that's where you're at. So that is what it's at. As Sweden snipes it home. What a shot here. Bergqvist fires it, and it just goes off the far side netting, but under the glove there of Urban. And NYC, yeah, Canada, Finland at 7:30 Eastern. Yeah, it's 5 p.m. or 5:30 out here in Western Canada, but 16-17 to go in the second period. That will be the other full game of coverage today, is Canada, Finland. I might call an audible and only have a period of coverage between USA and Germany or something like that, as this one goes to the far side corner. 16:02 to go in this second period. Sweden again inside the offensive zone, blocked by Urban. A big stop there to get that next one. And now this will work across the Sweden blue line and be ultimately a heavy defensive recovery for Sweden. And now they're looking to cough up a puck inside their own zone, as they've played an uncharacteristically sloppy game, have Sweden. I know they're normally really good, crisp, clean passes, crisp zone exits, and they've kind of struggled with Slovakia just standing in their way most of the time, as this one comes down the right wing inside the Slovakian end. Back to the blue line it goes, as the shot will be fired up over top of the net and into the netting, with a stoppage in play here with 15:18 to go in this second period of play. So Slovakia is obviously up 1-0 to start the second period. Sweden didn't waste much time, tied it on a shot from the far side face-off dot. And a beauty of a goal it was, whistled under the glove of Urban for Slovakia. And Bergqvist was the 7th round pick of Montreal in the 2024 NHL entry draft. Zemplinski is cheering for Slovakia as well. I don't think we've seen any Swedish fans in the chat yet today. 15:11 to go, offside at the Swedish blue line. And this is a big thing. Slovakia's got 6 shots in this game through 25 minutes. They have definitely got to get things going. And for Sweden, they've got 5 first-rounders on the team, 4 second-rounders, and 2 third-rounders. So not quite the stacked-up talent that Canada has, but overall, it's kind of one of those things for Sweden. They've got guys who like to work, guys who connect well together, and guys who work well together. And they, again, knock down a puck inside the Slovakian end. And again, Urban has been a great in-net all game today, and he makes another save as the puck goes out of play following that save. And we'll have a stoppage with 14:49 to go here in this second now period of play. And again, sorry friends, if you're just tuning in, you're like, man, you sound deflated. It's a little bit of nasal congestion getting me going here today around the Christmas holidays. So unfortunately, I feel like a bag of you-know-what. I sound like a bag of you-know-what, and really nothing seems to be touching it. So my apologies there, but we should be able to survive as this puck's back to the blue line for Sweden. They'll rip the one-timer. It pinballs around the slot, but it's ultimately blocked by Slovakia, who will fire it into the near side corner. Shot off the wing, comes off of Thielen back behind the net, and then they'll block a chance to exit the zone, while Slovakia, ultimately Sweden, able to get it back out into the middle of the ice. And that's a nice play by Urban to keep that puck moving, but he turns it over to Sweden, and the shot's fired from the blue line. Secondary chance off the block in front, and then Sweden just about turns over the puck, but they're able to keep it alive and keep forechecking, and now they're behind the net working along the wall here. And there again, there's another heavy, hard-nosed, tall player for Sweden. That guy's got to be at least 6'4", and they ultimately work it out of play with 14 minutes to go here in this second period of play. So we'll see. As we are rolling along here in today's game, friends. We're almost halfway done already. Slovakia is appearing in their 4th World Juniors already. Seems like just a few years ago they busted in and have remained in for the past several. But yeah, we're going to see what happens, as this one's one off the draw there by Slovakia. They were able to exit out to the neutral zone, but Sweden able to turn them back inside their own end, battling for possession along the wall. Kick back to the defender, near side corner now, as both teams look to regroup as Sweden carries out to center ice. Sweden across to the far side. Pass to the middle, cut off there by Slovakia, and then this will battle into the far side corner. 13:30 to go in this second period. Time winding down rather quickly here in this afternoon's action now. Shot fired towards the net as Urban was overcommitted. Sweden had a tap in if the stick had been on the ice, but instead Slovakia out of the corner able to recover. Come up the ice, right wing dump in, and it will go back behind the net. Thielen will guide his defenders. 13:08 to go. The puck bounces off the feet of a Swedish player in front, and this will battle back down low here for Sweden and Slovakia as they continue to battle along behind the net, and this will fire up off the boards. Slovakia able to get things going there, and we're going to see what happens here. This will work out and pass to the middle of the ice. Sweden will get across the Slovakian blue line, turn around there, nice spinorama pass there for Sweden. As this will work now back along the other way as this goes for Dvorsky. He'll get over to the near side. Pass coming through. Sweden cuts it off, and they will work it back out to the blue line. It bubbles between both Slovakian defenders, and that will just barely have enough for icing. I mean, that was icing by 2 inches by the time the Slovakian player touched the puck. 12:16 to go, as Dvorsky's kind of been the biggest playmaker I think Slovakia has. They've made some big plays here, and that tip going just wide for Slovakia. They have not had the puck luck in the offensive zone, nor has Sweden really. Both teams with a clean, clear shot from a little bit of distance from around the dot area to score both goals in a 1-1 hockey game so far today. As we go now, face off one by Sweden. They're going to bang it off the boards to try and get it out of their zone. Slovakia turns it back down low. Backhand around to the far side. Slovakia sees Sweden flip up into the neutral zone where 3 Slovakian players are waiting. The pass to the middle of the ice will drift through everybody and go down inside the Swedish end. Sweden along the near side boards gets it freed up to the near side blue line. Slovakia though takes control right then and there, and they're going to get it jammed back inside the Swedish zone. A terrible dump in, kind of fanned on it there was the far side winger for Slovakia, and this will allow Sweden to get it back into the neutral zone and try and get this rolling in the positive direction. Couple of pinball passes, and here's Sweden getting the zone, but immediately turning it over. And again, I don't know if something's up with the ice or what. There's been a couple of players that have blown edges in this afternoon's hockey game, and that's kind of the case here, as that allowed Sweden to set up the attack inside the Slovakian end. 11:18 to go in this second period to play. Pucks battling here along the near side wall. Wahlberg's taken down by a good heavy check there for Slovakia. Puck comes right to the middle. Urban again, active stick. He's been active all day. Swipes that one away, and now Slovakia is going to chip it along the near side wall, and Slovakia just cannot exit the zone here. That was what led to the Sweden goal last time around, and Sweden's looking for a quick line change. Slovakia bounces it out to the neutral ice. Sweden had already retreated, and this will come across now near side. The pass to the far side flipped up on by the Swedish player. You don't see that all too often. The stick go one-handed flying out of the player's hand, but that's what happened there, as this one's going to be picked up now by Slovakia, and they're going to work across the blue line. Again, the results of carrying the puck across the blue line or trying to connect a pass for Slovakia at the Swedish blue line today has been absolutely horrendous. Again, they're lucky to be tied 1-1 here, but at the same rate too, Sweden's lucky to not be down, given the fact they've gotten some tremendous bounces in front themselves. So we'll continue to see how this game progresses, but right now both teams desperately need to get into second gear and get out there and earn it. It's been a very slow second period, as was the first period, very slow, and the shots are 15-7 for Sweden, but really in terms of anything crazy, maybe 3 or 4 for each side, as this will be bounced back to the blue line. The shot one-timed in, save made there by Thielen, landed in the crease. Slovakia couldn't get a second swipe, and it's cleared out into the neutral zone and back down into Sweden's territory for an icing. No, they're going to waive that, not an icing call. Sweden took it like it was an icing call, and then ultimately played it off to Wallander, and That was a very, very sloppy, slow play there from both sides. Both sides just kind of slowed right down as Slovakia able to cue it out into the neutral again. Sweden at their own blue line will reset the attack on the right side, hammer it in, and this will come down inside the Swedish zone, offensive zone that is, but again, not much happening here. Slovakia is able to come up with the puck and get it over to the far side. There we go. Slovakia finally connects a pass, and there you go. That second pass doesn't quite work. Somehow, first man to it gets it going. Third pass definitely doesn't work. And now Sweden starts way back the other way. Slovakia heavy and strong on the puck, but not as fast as Sweden are in most instances, and that's going to be an opportunity now because of that. Slovakia failed hit along the wall, turns into a failed shot for Sweden inside the offensive zone. 8:58 to go here in this second period. Puck across to the far side. Shot fired towards the net. Backhand tip came in, but missed for Sweden as Dean Pelika fires the shot. And again, another block shot in the lane for Slovakia. They're going to dominate the block shot category here today, given how many shot attempts Sweden truly has. And this is Slovakia again knocking a player down to the ice. That was a big, heavy hit and a clean legal one as the player for Sweden slow to get up. Sweden still cycling around the Slovakian zone. Blocked in front again. That's 2 or 3 already on this shift for Slovakia inside their own zone. 8:20 to go as time continues to wind down. We've had a couple good instances of long time without whistles here in today's action. It's going to be ripped to the far side boards. Sweden back down low inside their own end across, and this will be tapped in across the line, and Sweden's going to get the first one to it. Shot save made by Urban, who has been very good in positioning so far in today's game. Maybe 1 or 2 exceptions to that. On the 16th shot for Sweden, he's got 15 saves. As both teams continue to roll around here as this comes back to the blue line. Shot fired, save made by, again, Urban in the crease for Slovakia. He falls on it, and we've got a stoppage in play with just over 8.5 minutes to go here. It's been a slow hockey game, but friends, thank you for tuning in today. I will tell you, it has not been slow on the live stream side of things. Very much so appreciate you hanging out with me and being part of things today, as we are currently sitting at a grand total of 72 hours on the stream. Kind of the goal for today was 100 hours, so we should well have that at about, I don't know, midway through the third period, one would figure. As we are rolling along here this afternoon, friends, waiting for somebody to score in this second period. It's been a little bit of a brutal go. I will tell you, if you are new to the channel, consider hitting that subscribe button to stay up to date with the World Juniors this year. Would love to have you around for what will be a good rest of the tournament. There's a lot of streams to come this week and next, simply because I've got a lot of time off work for the World Juniors season, so that's nice, and obviously don't have to take vacation days for it, so that's even nicer, and just ends up me getting to hang out with you for the World Juniors, which I think we can all agree is not necessarily a bad thing. At least somebody's keeping you up to date with how things are going across multiple teams here at the World Juniors. So we continue to rock and roll along here today, friends. Again, sleepy, slow game to kick things off. Noon Eastern time in Ottawa. It's been a little bit slow, that's for sure. But we'll see what happens here for Sweden and Slovakia as we get going here. Yeah. All right, let's do it. Sweden able to fire it back to the blue line. The shot bounces around inside the Slovakian end, high point a couple of times. Slovakia is able to work out and get back into Sweden's territory. Again, they can't connect the pass at the blue line, so that allows Sweden back to the Slovakian blue line, where they, in turn, can't connect a pass. Sweden, though, that heavy forechecking presence that has been all game so far, and they will continue to see this one worked along the near side wall. Wallander battling this one free. It's now to the near side dot, turned back by Slovakia. Working back along the near side wall. Both teams still battling for it. 7 minutes to go in this second period play. The shot fired up over top of the net by Sweden. Slovakia trying to turn it back again as my voice goes failing me. My apologies. And this will be turned back now inside the Sweden zone with 6:44 to go here in this second period of play. Time winding down for both teams, but the best stretch of play for Sweden this game has been inside the last 5 minutes of the first period, and they're looking to replicate that here as they get the force turnover inside the Slovakian zone behind the net. It'll come down to the near side corner where Sweden meets it there again. Stenberg with the puck will fire a backhand version of a pass over back to the blue line. Unfortunately, that one twists out for Slovakia, and Dalibor Dvorsky trying to come up with his puck is offside through a guy offside with the dangles. Here's Sweden down the left wing. Huge, I mean huge block right there for Slovakia, sliding across to get the body on it. 6 minutes exactly remaining here in this second period of play. Dangerous pass right to the front of the net for Slovakia, but they were able to clear it out without much trouble, and then can't connect the simple blue line pass. Here's Sweden making a couple of quick cuts. Tip in front goes up off the boards, and again Sweden just can't buy that perfect bounce in front. They've been trying all game. 5:40 to go here in the second period of play. Down low to Thielen again, as this will be worked out by Sweden across the center ice line, across the Slovakian blue line, and then cut off there by the Slovakian defense. This will work behind the net to the near side. Slovakia working now into the neutral zone and across the Swedish blue line. Good steal right there. Good shooting opportunity, and can't find the handle on the puck was number 24 for Slovakia. Had it right in front and just could not hammer it home as they lost the handle on it. 5:07 to go. Sweden passes it right in front. Slovakia cuts it off, turns it over at their own blue line. Sweden's attack will continue to the far side. Inside the last 5 minutes, like I said, time for Sweden to start heating up right here. Wallander to the middle, can't get the one-timer going, and that to credit Slovakia here today. They have been absolutely amazing at getting in passing lanes today. The shot fired off of Urban, trickled through him, but ends up wide. That's about the fourth time that's happened today. Shot right in front this time, queued up by Sweden, goes sky high. 4.5 minutes remain. 18-8 the shots for Sweden, and Slovakia is clinging to a 1-1 draw so far, as this one's Sweden at the far side blue line. Pass to the near side now. Pass to the far side blue line again. Sweden just rolling around the Slovakian zone. Shot blocked again by Slovakia, who is just committed to the heart and hustle game right here. 4:12 to go in this second period of play. Slovakia stumbles on the ice, and again another player falls down for Sweden there, as this will be battled back to the blue line. Sandin Pellikka ripping around, looking for that shot. Fires it up off the mask of Urban. So Sandin Pellikka stonewalled in front. He'll pass back to the high point. One-timer comes in. Urban's just making every textbook save he can make right now. 20 shots for Sweden. 19 saves for Slovakia to begin these first two periods. We're almost up and done at this point here in the second period. Crazy to think it's been a very busy second period for Urban, and he's been able to make every single shot that's come his way a save. So huge for the Slovak side, clinging on to what is a 1-1 draw right now. So as I'm seeing, friends, thank you so much for tuning in today. I really do appreciate it. I have to say that. Honestly, it's been fantastic to see the sport on the first live stream of the World Juniors here today, the first official one, I guess you could say. If you are new to the channel, consider subscribing. Again, we'll have streams like this the whole way through as time absolutely allows. I'd love to have you aboard for what should be a really fun, really fun rest of the tournament. If this is the kind of game we're going to get out of Sweden and, well, Sweden and Slovakia at least to begin things. So yeah, let's ultimately see where we're headed, but let's enjoy every moment of it as well as we continue along here today on the live stream. It's been a slow, sleepy game, but Urban has made a lot of saves. Kromiak goes off for holding at 3:44. This must have happened way later in the play as he got the arm into the belly section of Eriksson, and you know that's always going to be a penalty there if you grab on and clutch like that, and that's ultimately why he's headed to the box. So Sweden yet to capitalize on the power play tonight. Only one attempt prior. They are going to try and see if they can do it here with 3:44 to go. They've heated up inside the Slovakian end, and you would assume they're going to try and get things rolling again. late in this second period. So one shot on the previous power play. It ended 1:43 in as they took a penalty in the 5-on-4 situation. The pass to the middle there by Sweden, scrambled up on the whiff right in front. That was tough to watch. And here's now Sweden down the right wing, going to the middle of the ice to the far side. Dot the shot fired, save made by Urban, standing up and throwing the chest at it. He's made a couple big saves like that. Pass to the near side. Slovakia battling there, trying to stay in the lanes. The shot scrambled, save made, and cleared by Slovakia here, at least to begin the power play. 30 seconds to go, or 30 seconds gone, sorry. Now 40 seconds as Sweden bounces it right in on Urban, who will take the opportunity to clear back to center. A good puck handling goalie by the looks of it. A nice solid clear to center. And now this will be with 1:10 to go in the power play. An opportunity for Sweden on the reestablished zone to fire a shot, blocked again by Slovakia. They are going to be hurting by the end of this tournament because they are getting in the lane of everything so far. Sweden across the far side, clear shot, blocked again. Slovakia's player down, hurting a little bit there. Again, another shot faked out by Sweden. Looking back to the blue line, looking for anything to happen here. Sweden over to the far side. The one-timer blocked again by Slovakia. The guys on the ice are just absolutely barely standing, and that, you have it. Slovakia, third time's the charm. Sandin Pellikka scores the goal, and the old Detroit Red Wings are going to love that. With 2:17 to go here in this second period of play, Sweden takes a 2-1 lead. Interesting. Slovakia clinging for dear life, blocking every shot. And then finally it's Strub, somebody that just couldn't handle that one. And it ends up back in the net. That's a huge hammer of a shot, kind of a wiffle puck there, if you would. And it ends up in the back of the net. So tough go for Slovakia. They blocked as many shots as they possibly could without giving up a goal on that power play, and ultimately Sweden's able to capitalize and put it in the back of the net. So we continue on now. 2:17 to go in this second period of play. Slovakia will backhand down low inside Sweden's zone, as this will take us to pretty much the last 2 minutes to play. Dvorsky trying to get things fired up here on an attack for Slovakia. Along the near side boards, as Jarenko goes along, gets back to Dvorsky. Dvorsky plays it down low, and it'll be worked out to the middle of the ice. Cut off there. 1:50 to go here in this second period. Shot is fired down by Sweden right to the guy standing at the offensive blue line. That's going to allow a pass to the middle, but cut off there by Slovakia, and this will be worked backhand style into the Sweden zone. There we go, friends. That'll be worked out back again to the Swedish offensive blue. And worked over twice is the Sweden player by two big Slovakian players. And this will work now. Picked up by Sweden at center ice. Fired back in. And this where when I say it's been slow is just the carrying of the puck has been tough to watch all game long. Pass to the middle. A shot fired up over top goes wide. Now this one will be chipped up along the boards again. Sweden looking to play this one along the near side, looking to make the play back to the blue line. The shot ripped far wide on the right-hand side of Urban. And this will be Slovakia back into the neutral zone. They see it bounced off the boards into their own end by Sweden. And still trying to connect that perfect pass through the neutral zone that actually lands on a tape of a player in the offensive zone. Has not been the case so far. So we continue along here, friends, as we roll on into the Slovakian zone again. This goes 3:28 to go in this second period of play. Puck's cut off there by Sweden. Sweden fires it across to the far side. 25 point some odd seconds to go. Here's Sweden able to see it work back to the blue line over to the near side. Sandin Pellikka dancing again. He's been electric so far in this hockey game, and a big reason why. Scoring that second goal, Sweden has a 2-1 lead. Past the far side, finally connecting a cross ice pass was Sweden, but a big block there. Pellikka fires a shot, another block. Oh my goodness, another block in front, and that is Slovakia gutting it out here in this second period to cling on to a 2-1 deficit. through 2 periods of play. Friends, thanks for being aboard here. I'm going to take a quick timeout to go upstairs again. If you're new to the channel, consider hitting that subscribe button. I'm going to go refill my water bottle, grab a quick bite to eat, and we'll be right back for the 3rd period of play. All right, friends, let's do this. We are back underway here in this 2nd intermission now. As obviously it's going to take a big effort from Slovakia, given the way Sweden has most times hemmed them in their own zone. Yeah, last period was a rough one for Slovakia. They didn't really generate much, and they didn't really generate much much at all here in terms of shots on net. I mean, after the 2nd period of play, things are looking much different than they were after the 1st period. Slovakia led the hockey game 1-0 after the 1st, and now it has become a 9-5 shot differential after the 1st period for Sweden. So that, right, obviously, you know, Sweden was starting to dominate late in that 1st period. Well, after the 2nd period, it's now 13-3 in the 2nd alone. So 22-8 for Sweden after 2 periods of play in the shot department. 2-1 the score as, Rasmus Bergqvist scores the 1st goal of the hockey game for Sweden from Axel Sandin Pellikka and David Granberg. And then it's a power play goal, the only power play of the period, as Axel Sandin Pellikka scores from Felix Unger-Sorum and Tom Wallander. So very tough go for Slovakia, given the opponent that is Sweden. But overall, very tough situation as well, given the fact that Slovakia isn't necessarily a world hockey superpower, so they gotta really dig in here. They've done everything they can to keep Sweden off the board, but if they don't find a way to get on the board, they are not going to win this hockey game at this point. Sweden can very well, given the offensive output that Slovakia has had, sit on this lead and just walk it home from this point forward. So we'll see what happens there. But again, friends, as I keep you updated on what's happening over here on the live stream, we've got a grand total this evening of 81.1 hours watched. The goal for the evening is, well, the afternoon, morning, whatever it is, it's only 11:39 local time here in Alberta, is 100 hours on today's stream. So we continue to progress towards that today, and I appreciate everybody hanging out and being a part of today's live stream. Much appreciated as we continue to try and find some trying to find what happens here, but I don't know where I was going with that. Give me a second here as we're trying to figure. Oh, Paul Fisher starts as the 7th D-man for the USA. So Paul Fisher is, of course, an Oilers prospect that got traded as a thank you gift from the St. Louis Blues for Dylan Holloway and Philip Broberg. So the Oilers did pick up a defender in that couple of transactions, but will it be enough to replace what the Oilers lost in that long term? Probably not. But we'll see what happens here, friends, as we also go to tell you that the Edmonton Oilers are back to action on Saturday. I'll probably try and live stream the Saturday game. I don't necessarily know what the schedule is on Saturday, so maybe we should double check that before I commit to doing anything too crazy. Friday is a busy day as well, a 4-day action, and then USA Latvia at 1:30. So we'll probably do Czechia Kazakhstan at 11 a.m. and then go immediately a period or two, not the full game, and then get into the action with the Oilers at 2 p.m. on Saturday. So if you're a regular Dolynny TV viewer for the Oilers content, I will tell you that returns Saturday, 2 p.m. against the LA Kings as they look to try and get things going against the Edmonton Oilers in their first matchup of the season. And, not their first matchup of the year, though, right? Almost got there, but we didn't without seeing the LA Kings one more time. So here we go. Easton Cowan is probable for the Canadian side tonight, because unfortunately he took a stumble in practice and really hasn't felt great since. So hopefully he gets in and gets going. So that'd be awesome. But yeah, hopefully it all works out for Team Canada and Easton Cowan gets into the lineup. Sorry, friends, the old nasal congestion, the head pressure is definitely messing with me here today. But preliminary round, Group B, it's 2-1. The score for Sweden. 2-1 for Sweden here to get things going in this second intermission. Again, really a sleepy game. I think that's also why I'm a little discombobulated, to be honest with you. It's just been very, very sleepy. If you're just tuning in, the goal scorers so far tonight, Slovakia kick-started things by leading out of the first period. Dalibor Dvorsky from Jacob Kromiak and Maxim Stravik. And then Rasmus Bergqvist from Axel Sandin Pelika and David Granberg tied the hockey game about 4 minutes into the second period. And then Axel Sandin Pelika from Felix Unger Sorum and Tom Wellander on the power play late in the second period is why Sweden leads by a grand total of 2-1. Now that said, Samuel Urban has been absolutely fantastic so far in today's hockey game. He's made 20 out of 22 saves. He is the reason why the Swedish side is not running away with today's hockey game. Give me a moment, friends. Just going to go blow my nose. All right, there we go. We should be a little bit better. Clear out that little bit of congestion. Oh boy, has it been a rough Christmas or what? I'm also guess I should say Merry Christmas to all you watching back home. Big day yesterday. Obviously, quiet day for myself personally. Don't really have much going on at Christmas time nowadays anymore, but hey, we'll enjoy the days off when you can get them. And Elliot, unfortunately, I cannot show the game live. It's copyright material of TSN in Canada, which, being a Canadian, means I legally can't show it, and YouTube would punish me accordingly. So we choose not to show that and not do anything dumb. And basically from there, what that allows us to do is tell you that if you are in Canada, to go to tsn.ca, sign up for either the free trial or else for the month membership. It'll cost like $10. Just get in there, get it done. It'll be the best 10 to 20 bucks you've spent all Christmas, and you'll be able to watch every game free, live, on time, and in sync with real world events. So yeah, that's what I would tell you right now is tsn.ca if you're in Canada, Hulu if you're in the United States by the sounds of it. So we're still waiting for this hockey game to get back up and underway here in this third period upcoming, as Sweden controls the game 2-1, 22-8 the shots, and really for Slovakia, just taking one penalty too many in that second period of play is what cost them the tied hockey game. And USA versus Germany will get going around 12:30 Mountain Time, so 45 minutes from now. I would assume they start delayed. We start delayed watching that one because this game's going to take its time to finish still. So we still got plenty of time to go in the intermission, friends. Yeah, other than that, I really don't know what to tell you. It's been a very sleepy, slow game. I'm going to take a quick run upstairs just to kind of grab another little bite to eat as we try to stay fueled up for the live stream today. Rolling. Maybe I should unmute myself, but as well I should tell you kind of where we're sitting in the back end numbers here today, friends. Thank you for being a part of the first live stream of the World Juniors here on Dolynny TV. We've already gained 28 subscribers today, so thank you to all those of you that have chosen to stick around for what will be a good tournament this year, right? I think there's 3 co-favorites between Sweden, Canada, and the USA, but Slovakia is trying to have a little something to say about how the brackets will break down once we get to the medal rounds, and that's awesome to see for Slovakia. That much is for sure. And as we go along here as well, we're 88.6 hours watched on the stream, so I don't know if anybody really knows YouTube numbers, but that's just kind of a measurement of how well you guys have been sticking around. And usually the watch time on the average view duration, I guess I should say, on a live stream here for the World Juniors is about 45 seconds. We're up over a minute today, so thank you for hanging around and being a part of it as the game and the day goes along. It's been great to see everybody sticking around for those few extra seconds, and obviously sticking around and having a good time staying up to date with the hockey game. Really do appreciate that. So other than that, like I said, if you're just tuning in, it's one of those things right now where we've got Sweden controlling the game 2-1, and I say controlling because the shots are 22-8. They've converted once on the power play and really just had everything going for them so far in today's game. And Slovakia, if they could get some shots on net, especially if Dalibor Dvorsky could get some more shots on net, I assume he would probably have another goal, because that first shot was an absolute wicked wrister, and he was able to fire it home for a beauty of a goal to open up the scoring. But that's been the offense for Slovakia since. So we'll see ultimately if he can help turn the tide in this third period. Slovakia has done a good job, though, gritting it out and heart and hustling it kind of deal, and really getting things going in the block shot department, the digging in and freeing up pucks department. So they've been good in that sense. They just need to be good in the goal scoring sense once or twice more here in today's hockey game to try and walk away with this one. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, friends, we continue to roll along here on the live stream as we are just about to start the third period here today. Slow game, really slow game. And hopefully for Sweden Slovakia, the pace kind of picks up, whether Sweden runs away with it or whether Slovakia ties it up and makes it interesting late. I don't really care which, but just needs something more than what we've gotten in the sloppy turnovers, the sloppy play department here in this first and second period so far. And as I remind everybody again, it seems like you get so many people coming and going in a live stream for something like this that people don't hear you the first time or the third time or the eighth time. But again, friends, if you're in Canada, tsn.ca/live is where you'll be able to catch a live stream of it. I think there's a free trial or there's a something of the sorts that you'll be able to get for rather cheap that will allow you to watch the World Juniors if you're in Canada. And if you're in the USA, I think it's either NHL Network or Hulu is where you'll be able to catch the games as well. So unfortunately, it is copyright material of TSN in Canada, and streaming from Canada, I am not legally allowed to show the games. So that is, of course, the issue we have, right? Is I need to make sure I'm staying in accordance with the rules I have to play by here on YouTube, and that's just what it is. So if I could show you the live stream, I would, but when it's an illegal thing to do, I'm not quite going to do it. There's plenty of other people who have figured out how to legally live stream it on YouTube, but there's a reason those live streams don't last the full game. That's all I'm going to tell you on that front. So we continue to wait for things to get going. So we gotta wait for this hockey game to get back on the third period. Stephen, I'm going to read your comment here. Awesome. Thanks, Stephen. Appreciate that. Well, that's a brick of text I haven't had to read all day, but yeah, no, obviously the Oilers jerseys, very thankful for all of them. It's kind of been the right place, right time over the course of the few years to be able to get them, right? The reverse retro from that year, kind of was able to get that at the right place, right time. Same with that one, reverse retro, the Heritage Classic. I owe that one to my man Patrick over on the Oilers Fanatic for getting that one going for me. And a little bit of special help from someone else back home as well. And then the Condors one, special help. That one, special help. The really only one I've gone out and just randomly bought, not purposely bought, is that Connor McDavid captain jersey right there, the old safety orange vest. Because, you know what, needed it for a Halloween party. So that's the story with that one. But we continue along here. I guess the other one I randomly bought was the, the Pugliarvi one that used to hang up on the back wall here, but we've since knocked that one off for the time being to keep things rolling on the back wall. The 6 Oilers jerseys at all times up there, so it's where we're at. So here we go, face off center ice. We're ready to get this third period started, my friends. Let's do it. Sweden digs in, wins it back. We've got less than 20 minutes to play in this hockey game unless Slovakia can find a way to tie it. Slovakia is going to work through the neutral zone, connect a pass again. They have just not been able to hang on to pucks at their own blue line today. That's been their detriment all game long. This one bouncing around in front, and ultimately there is going to be a call coming up as one of the Slovakian players got taken out by Sandin Pellikka. He'll head to the box with 19:41 to go. Slovakia right out of the gate gets their lucky break, and that's a huge get. If you're Slovakia, kind of getting a loose puck down deep and Sandin Pellikka going in there to lift the stick and just kind of can open Janko for the Slovak side. So there you have it. Let's do this. 19:41 to go in the third period of play. Hooking call against Sandin Pellikka, the latest goal scorer in today's action. Puck's ripped around the near side board. Slovakia is going to try and be the first ones to it. Nice little initiate the contact, little Zach Hyman maneuver there. Pass to the far side. Picked up by Slovakia, back to the blue line. Looking to set up the attack. Near side one-timer not coming. Dvorsky then fires the shot. It's swallowed up by the glove and spit immediately back out by Thielen. And he's had some rough-looking shots against over his past few games here in the pre-tournament stuff. So, Interesting to see if he can keep it going. As here's Dvorsky looking back to the blue line. Dvorsky, Stravic, far side. The shot comes in. Whistle just wide on the blocker's side of Thielen as Dvorsky again setting it up. This is about the best looking attack that the Slovakian side has had in 25 plus minutes of hockey, as they're looking to get this one down deep below the goal line. Nice play to the middle, and that will be kept in on a clearing attempt by Sweden, and a huge, I mean huge block there for Sweden to keep that one-timer from Dvorsky out of the net near side. Stravic to the far side again, setting up the attack. This shot comes rifling in, and it'll deflect off the boards to Dvorsky again. Dvorsky will play it to the middle, looking for a tip in front. Glove down, and then held by Thielen. So we have a stoppage in play with 18:24 to go, and some really good movement here from the Slovaks on the power play with a $1:45 already gone, 15 seconds remaining, and they've kept it in the zone pretty much the whole dang time, which is awesome to see for them. So here we go. 18:24 to go in this third period of play. Dvorsky will stay out there this whole period. He's appearing in his 4th career World Juniors. Not very many players get to do that, but Slovakia, one of those teams that allows for it, as this will be off the end wall as Urban plays it around to the far side. Sorry, $1:15 gone. There was 45 seconds remaining in the power play for Slovakia, as they just can't hold on to that puck across their blue line. It'll be fired all the way down to Urban again. He'll leave it there with 23 seconds to go in the power play, as Wojtek left it there, and it'll be carried ahead now by Slovakia through the neutral zone to the far side point inside Sweden's territory. Down low, the pass comes around in the near side boards. Slovakia's battling there. Dvorsky gets it going. Shot down to Dvorsky again along the wing. Pass in front, looking for the backhand tip. Can't get it from Dvorsky there. A good pass to the middle. 17.5 to go here in the third period. Power play is over. Sweden jams it up off the boards out to center. Nice play there by Slovakia to keep that one alive for the time being. They could have had really dangerous opportunity for Sweden if they had not stopped it right there at their own blue line. Sweden bumping and thumping into the far side corner. 17:18 to go in this third period. Slovakia, good pressure on that power play, but they needed to score. That much is for sure, as this pass comes through unclean in the zone for Slovakia. That results in a jumbled play back to the Swedish blue line, and Sweden's able to move it back out into the middle of the ice, as this will work kind of jumping around there. Pass over in the middle of the ice. Slovakia is trying to exit their own zone now and get it back across the Swedish blue line. Dump into Thielen. He catches the puck, and he will freeze it right there. And then there's pushing and shoving in the Swedish crease, as Wahlberg grabs a hold of someone, and a couple of Slovakian players grabbed a hold of someone as well. It's a little bit of something you didn't expect to see today, but I guess a little bit of anger and frustration here on both sides. Sweden thinks this one probably should have been a cakewalk, and Slovakia's put in a workmanlike effort all game to keep this right where it is. All right. Here you go. Sweden talking things over ahead of the next face-off in the game. 16:46 to go in the third period of play. 2-1 Sweden leads, 22-10. The shots now for Sweden, as Slovakia is bit back forward, and they will get another shot, a weak one at that, but their 11th of the game, swallowed up by Thielen, who now has pretty much the identical save percentage to, yes indeed, the guy at the other end, Urban. So here we go. Sandin Pellikka, 19 points in 15 career games at the World Juniors. He's been here a long time already, and he's still conditioning overseas in Sweden, as far as I understand, for the Detroit Red Wings. 16:42 to go as the faceoff's won by Slovakia immediately to the trigger man. Couldn't pull it though and fire the shot on net. And this will be work now by Sweden, trying to get across the Slovakian blue line. Hard, strong play there for Slovakia, able to keep Sweden at bay. Shots fired down low, bounced up off the boards, and it will be bouncing around several times over. 16:20 to go in the third period as Slovakia fires it along the wall. It works back to the blue line, over near side now, middle of the ice. The shot comes in from Sweden, deflects up over top. I wasn't sure where that puck was going to end up, but it ends up going up over top. Here's the far side shot, scores. What an absolute snipe for Axel Sandin Pellikka right there again. He scores his second of the game, second consecutive goal, and that was a beauty of a shot. I mean, that's what you want to see every single time in the World Juniors. Walk down the wing from the face-off dot, fire, and score. And that's exactly what Sandin Pellikka just did right there. So that was a beauty of a deflection. Kind of pinballed around, but allowed Sweden to continue possession. And then the pass, Pellikka gets forgotten about, and then he fires it up over the shoulder of Urban, who was out to cut down the angle, but somehow had a little bit of room to spare over there. And it's a shot by Sandin Pellikka that just is ripped right up top corner and back bar. So tough go there for Slovakia. They had this game pretty well in hand, at least the way they needed to play to win. In that first period, started bending and breaking in that second period, and now find themselves down 2-0, or 2-0 in the last, I guess, 25 minutes. 3-1 the score for Sweden over top of Slovakia. This puck into the near side corner. We will have a stoppage and play as the face-off will come outside the Swedish zone. 15:54 to go here in this third period of Slovakia. That's a tough break to give up that goal now. You wanted to see them try and keep this one alive as long as possible, but the way Sweden's playing, the way Slovakia has struggled to get across their blue line cleanly, you got to figure this one's pretty much up and done at this point. As the shot comes in from the point, blocked there by Slovakia. Puck heads into the bench, and Unger Sorum and Nielsen will get the assists on Axel Sandin Pellikka's second goal of the game. So Pellikka averaging just over a point per game in the World Juniors, now 2 points in one game, and still 15 minutes and 46 seconds remaining here today. So things still cruising along for him at the World Juniors level this year. So 15:46 to go. Everybody's smiling on the Swedish bench right now. This will be worked back at center ice for a face-off that's dumped in to the Swedish end, as it will be battled along the far side, or near side corner. Sorry, this nasal congestion is killing a guy. As Sweden will bounce it off the boards out along the wall. Sweden's turned back there niftily by another poke check for the Slovakian side. This one worked across the line. Man falls down there, and this will battle, puck board, bounce, whatever, and ultimately worked out by Sweden as it bounced around a couple of times. Sweden trying to drag around the defender. Slovakia, though, they've closed quick. They might not be the fastest team, but being as they have the size, they have been able to close quick on the Swedish attack most times here tonight. Sorry, friends, give me a second again. Sweden cuts in on net. Urban able to make the save. He's got it. He's frozen it. And the play is dead inside the Slovakian zone with 14:52 to go. Give me a sec. I'm going to try and blow my nose again here. Okay, we should be good to go. That feels much better. I can actually breathe again. 14.5 minutes to go in this third period of play. Stenberg across the line for Sweden. The shot loads up. Swallowed up by Urban in the glove. And again, Slovakia consistently jarring it up in front of the netminder with Sweden anytime they can. And that's where you have it. So here we go. Shot fired from the outside there for Sweden. Big glove save for Urban, who just very quickly gloved that down and held on to it. And you just look how casually he did it as well. You'll love to see it. And this will be a nice little bit of a stoppage and play here for us as we continue into the late stages of this hockey game. 14.5 remaining in the third period. Sandin Pellikka fires another shot, looking for his hat-trick goal. See, in the World Juniors, defenseman with his kind of shot has the capability of going out there and doing a lot of good things with it. And so far he has, as this worked to the far side wing. Eklund back to the blue line. The shot loads, save made by Urban. This one down against the end wall. Eklund again with a good pass to the middle. Just could not get it going. And 14 minutes to go as Sweden continues to dominate the zone time in this hockey game. Sandin Pellikka, another shot drifted off a stick of a Slovakian player in front. Eklund's wound out of that play. It'll be picked up by Slovakia, fired back to the blue line, dancing around there. Sweden will work it back to the blue line over near side now. Wallander as XL Sandin Pellikka, the goal scorer that's made it 3-1 twice over with that puck inside his own zone, picked up now by Sweden to the far side. 13:28 remains. And it just seems like time is winding down here on Slovakia, as it has ever since the start of the second period. As here we go. Slovakia down the right wing, can't get it going. The puck ends up right in the middle. They fan the shot to the Slovakian side. 13:08 to go. A fan clearing attempt there for Sweden. That was almost dangerous in and of itself. And they were able to gather back the puck to the guys in yellow today. 12:56 to go in this third period of play. Puck played to the near side, rolling up through the neutral. Now is Sweden. The pass comes to the middle. It was cut off by Slovakia once, twice, 3 times over. And ultimately Sweden's able to force them back to their own blue line for a moment before Slovakia turns across the blue line, fires a shot off the pads of a guy in front. This will now be worked into the far side corner. 12:32 to go in this third period of play. Slovakia back to the blue line. Shot comes in, fired through traffic. Save made by Thielen. Puck's loose in front. Again, another shot fired. Goes off the pad of Thielen's side of the net, back behind. And here's Slovakia getting to work inside the Swedish end. The shot fired towards the blue line. Or fired from the blue line towards the net. Never ended up getting there. As Dvorsky will gather up inside his own zone, fire the shot towards Thielen. He gloves it down. That's a laser beam of a shot from Dvorsky from out in the neutral to hit the glove. This will be picked up by Sweden across the blue line of Slovakia. Down in behind the net. 11:50 to go. Big body check there. Puck to the middle of the ice. Slovakia able to clear the zone. They're going to work back across the line. Picked up and shot pass over to the near side boards. Slovakia again, though, once they cross the blue line, that second pass in the zone has been a tricky one for them. And again, Sweden able to come up with the puck inside their own zone, back behind the netminder. Couple of board bounces around behind. Stepping out from behind is number 5 for Sweden. Will rock up through the middle of the ice and to the far side. Here comes Sweden across the line. In on net, Urban stands tall on the power move from the Swedish player, and that leaves with 11:12 to go. Again, Slovakia can't connect the pass, and that's been the tough part of this hockey game, is it's been slow and sloppy. Sweden's gotten their feet under them little by little every single 5-minute chunk. Slovakia is still in the same gear they were to start the hockey game. Yes, they obviously started with the lead, but it's been tough so far, at least right now, as Day will play it right in front. It'll be knocked right into the glove of Thielen with 10:44 to go. Krelmiak just couldn't drive deep enough into the zone to get there. So we continue along here, friends, as both teams battling for every square inch on the ice, and not really much of a result there so far for Slovakia today. Like I said, I'm cheering for them today just because I want to see Group B get really interesting really quick. But if it doesn't, then it's not going to be any harm foul. But you want to see them really rock and roll here today. At least make this interesting. Make it 3-2, right? I think that's all we could ask. Make it 3-2. Let's have a little bit of fun and see what happens here today against Sweden. But right now it's looking very much so like it'll be a controlled game from start to finish for Sweden. I mean, yes, they've started down, but again, that's going to happen sometimes, and they've done a very good job just keeping up with it. Seriously, just keeping up with it. Okay, let's see what else we got. I think we're good. I think we're good to go. Right now, we have got things rolling along for this World Juniors first game, as Mark Borowecki's in the stands for the professional development coach for the Nashville Predators. He still looks like he could be out there playing hockey. Dude looks like he hasn't aged in a day. He was one heck of a tough customer when he was in the NHL, that's for sure. 10:44 to go here in this third period, friends. We're going to get things rolling towards the last half of the final period of the hockey game, as the Slovakian fans still believing in things today, as that one's won back to the blue line. Puck passed down to the near side wing inside the Sweden zone. Sweden trying to recover here. Pass up along the wall. Will pinball a couple of times. No icing call because of that. And Slovakia has to hustle back inside their own end. Both teams battling for this puck, as both teams looking to come out of it and get an attack set up. This one, Sweden, shot from the blue line, blocked in front. Rebound goes off the man in front. And this will be a player playing without a stick. 10:14 to go here in this third period to play. Both teams trying to find this puck inside the near side corner of Slovakia's end. And this will be played to the middle by Slovakia. Again, that pass across the Swedish blue line has been a problem all game long. Big hit there from number 6 for Sweden. More of a collision, not a hit, but still, as this will be carried backward towards the Slovakian zone, dumped in by Sweden. We are inside the final 10 minutes to go here in the third period to begin this World Juniors today. 3-1 the score, 28-13 the shots on goal. We're almost running into game time against USA and Germany at this point. Far side, puck is going to be battled there by Slovakia. They're going to come up with it ultimately. Okay. I see what they're doing. I see what they're trying here, as they will battle it to the middle of the ice and pass to the far side. Cut off though. They connected a few passes, but Sweden's too much. Shot from the slot goes in, and there's a high stick that goes uncalled on the play. Maybe a Swedish player got his own teammate with the play. I'm not 100% sure there. 9:06 to go in this third period, friends. I'm so sorry about the performance today. Normally a little bit more inspired, but the nasal congestion is killing a guy. Shot over to the near side point. The shot comes in, blocked in front. It's a 3-1 score for Slovakia late in the third. Puck goes in behind to the far side. Now Slovakia loading up a one-timer. It bounces off of a player in front. Stenberg's lost his stick. Sweden fires it over top of the glass and out of play, it looks like, with 8:37 to go here in this third period of play. We will have a stoppage, as Sandin Pelika's checking to make sure it wasn't a puck over glass call. And it might be. Not 100% sure. It looks like we're going to go to commercial break, friends. I know better than this. I'm going to grab a quick bathroom break. I'll be right back. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button and we'll get going in a matter of moments. Back to action just in time, friends. Face off inside the Swedish zone. Power play for Slovakia. Big moment in the hockey game here. If they can score a goal, they can end up, tying this one up eventually. If they get it down to a 3-2 lead and then kind of leave it for last in the third period, they have a chance to get things going. They win the face off on the opening draw of the power play. Sweden, though, too much on that check and able to fire it out to center. So here we go. Slovakia inside their own zone. Pass over to Dvorsky. Dvorsky will backhand it back to the defense, allowing them to set up and carry through the wave of Swedish defenders at the blue line. As Sweden goes along the wall to clear the zone, down the ice it goes, and out all the way back to Urban, who will not play that puck. Bounces dangerously in front. Stravik with the puck inside his own end, wearing the A for Slovakia, as this will be played through the neutral zone on the left wing. Slovakia fires around, rim shot to the near side boards. Sweden chops at it, gets it out, and down the ice it goes. And this is where, when you have this much penalty killing prowess here, as Sweden has kind of shown to begin this penalty kill, is it kind of sucks the life out of you if you're Slovakia. And so far, Slovakia hasn't done much to dig in. They do right there. Win a board battle, immediately turn it over, however, and it's fired back down the ice again. And this very much is the last gasp for Slovakia in this game. One would figure the way Sweden's been playing the last period and a half, but that is what's happened. So, to the far side, it'll be battled back to the blue line, freed out there by Slovakia, as they will roll around their own line and try and figure out how to get back into Swedish territory with 26 seconds to go. As they'll go across to the far side, Sweden defending well, swallows the man up and rims it around the near side boards again. And that's been the tough part for Slovakia. They have just not gotten a single zone keep on this power play. Nice headman pass there by Urban. Across the line again, Slovakia losing the handle with 6:40 to go in this third period of play. That will do it for the power play, as Pelika comes out of the box and he hustles to the bench to get some fresh legs on the ice. This one will be worked up by Slovakia across the line, looking for the pass to the middle. Unfortunately, unable to find it there with Slovakia as it goes to the far side boards. 6:20 to go in this third period of play. The shot from the point comes in. Rebound in front. Save made by Thielen as Slovakia, after the power play, gets a beautiful chance in front and just about found a way to cash that one in on Thielen. Would have been great to see as McSorley. Any Oilers or ex-Oilers playing in this game? Not as far as I know. It's all the only two players the Oilers have at the World Juniors this year is Paul Fisher of the USA and Bo Akey for Team Canada. The Oilers really don't have a lot of prospects in the pool that are World Juniors eligible at this point. So here we go. Face off, ready to rock and roll. They're showing the blue line camera for some reason. TSN's been a little sloppy on the coverage here today, but they'll survive, I'm sure, as this one's one back to Pelika again. Sandin Pelika rolling up through the middle. Save made there by Urban on the hop and puck. And we'll have a stoppage in play with just over 6 minutes remaining in today's hockey game. Friends, a reminder, I'll be back live for Canada versus Finland later today. Keep that in mind. That is the end goal, is Sweden, Slovakia to kickstart things, and then Canada, Finland to close things out today. Maybe a live stream of, maybe a little bit of the USA-Germany game if I get a little bit bored during the middle part of the day, but it is still the Christmas season, and I still got to spend a little bit of time with family and friends, so that is where we're going to do things during the middle part of the day. 6:05 to go in this third period of play. Sweden looking to win the draw back and get an attack set up. They do, as they get things going back to Sandin Pelika. Pelika rolling around. The shot fired, scores. Hat-trick. Sandin Pelika hat-trick from the point, as Urban, who had been very technically sound all game, lets that one elude him, and Sandin Pelika scores the first hat-trick of the World Juniors. 5:59 to go in this third period. And the hats come raining down. Well, the hat comes raining down at TD Place. That is a big time goal for Sandin Pelika, who is just having himself a game. 4 points in this third period, and he just walks the line, fires a shot through traffic that beats Urban to the far post. And that's an incredible release. I mean, Sandin Pelika is going to be an absolute unit at the NHL level. We already knew that, but what a shot there. 4-1 now for Sweden over top of Slovakia. The shot fired, blocker side, beats Urban, who just cannot believe it. And what a game from the captain of Sweden. And I mean, they're going to be a dangerous team if Sandin Pelika is scoring multiple goals per game and picking up an assist at the same time. That's for sure. Face off one back by Sweden. We've got less than 5 minutes to go here, or 6 minutes, sorry, to go in this third period to play. The third goal of the game for Sandin Pellikka. Stenberg and Edstrom get the assist, but Sandin Pellikka all over the map today. 4 points in all 4 goals. He's gotten something. 3 goals and an assist as Sweden comes off the end wall, passes it right in front of the netminder Urban. It's stolen away by Slovakia. They're going to come back the other way and fire this one across the line into the near side corner. And that will be a stoppage in play as there was a player dumped after the play too. Slovakia's starting to lose their luck a little bit. I think that first goal by Sandin Pellikka was the end of the night for Slovakia. I mean, it was just block shot after block shot on the power play for Slovakia, and then ultimately they end up coughing one up because the man's too injured in the current moment get over and block another one. So that was how Sandin Pellikka started scoring. As 3-0 win for Sweden back in 2021 over somebody. I don't know, didn't see the graphic too well. As it's carried ahead by Slovakia, pass to the middle, cut off by Sweden. Again, the foot speed of Slovakia is a little bit of an issue. One might figure here has been probably the biggest problem in the game for them offensively, as they just have not been able to out-hustle Sweden at any turn in the game. 5 minutes to go in the third period of play. Puck along the near side boards. This one continues to the far side, or right in front of the net actually. I thought he was going to carry around behind the net. Didn't. Slovakia battling forward now. Firing it in behind the net. Now near side. Battle along the end wall inside the Swedish zone. 4:40 to go in this sleepy third period. Sleepy hockey game overall. Here's Sweden passing it near side. The shot scores. What an unreal release again. I think that was Edstrom, but Sweden now starting to pile up the goals. 5-1 over top of Slovakia. Tough finish for what had been a great game so far. Eriksson scores a goal. Great game for Slovakia in terms of keeping it close and keeping it interesting against a powerhouse team like Sweden, but what a release there. As Urban gets beat on the glove hand side this time, and Eriksson taps for the puck and just wrists it home on a beauty of a shot. And what a release there. Sweden's had some unreal finishes here, and that one goes up over top of the glove. And really another flutter puck as well, where it's just up on end, rolling around in the air. And Sweden extends their lead to 5-1. This one's gotten away from Slovakia rather quickly here in this third period of play. The boards are now closed, and we're back to play here in this third period of play with 4:30 to go. Pass to the far side. Sweden looking to get a pass through. Slovakia cuts it off. Linus Eriksson. Beauty of a shot, let's be honest there. As Granberg and Hedquist get the assist, that is the first goal of the game that Axel Sandin Pellikka has not had a point on. A 4-point night for the captain. A 5th goal that he doesn't factor in on. 4:06 to go in the third period. Puck pass through the middle there for Slovakia over to the near side, down the right wing. Slovakia back to the blue line. Dancing around. Day fires the shot, can't get it through. And with 3:50 to go now, we wind down the clock in today's action as time continues to tick away from Slovakia. But Sweden has this game in hand. They are going to finish this one off 5-1, 5-2, 6-1, 6-2, some kind of scoring factor like that, as that puck's down for icing inside the Swedish zone. So it'll come back to Slovakia's end with 3.5 minutes to play in the third period. What an interesting turn, friends. I will tell you, as you probably think about tuning out and heading on to watch USA versus Germany, if you are new to the channel, consider hitting that subscribe button. I appreciate you hanging out with me, and I'd love to have you hang out with me the rest of the way home during the World Juniors this year, and stick around for the Edmonton Oilers stuff. Why not? Why not get it done? So here we go. 3:34 to go in this third period of play. Puck is fired to the Slovakian blue line, where Slovakia is going to have a little difficulty getting it through, turning it over to Sweden. Again, the puck management from Slovakia all game has been rather poor. 3:18 to go in this third period, as that will be ripped to the far side, picked up by Sweden across the Slovakian blue line again. Time continues to wind down, like I've said a few times, as 3:06 remains here in this third period of play. The boards are kind of ripping apart the board ad anyway, as we are inside the last 3 minutes to go now, as this will be picked up and carried forward by Sweden again. Slovakia gets the turnover. Nobody at the blue line to pass to, so they'll go right across and again miss the connection pass. And this has just been tough. As I mean, Sweden's a good team, but not making your crisp passes is a kind of you thing. And for Slovakia, they had them so close all throughout the first, I don't know, about half of the game. And then it's just fallen off the wheels ever since, as this puck goes down for another icing against Slovakia. And we will have a stoppage in play with 2:29 to go in the third period. As Sandin Pellikka just absolutely turnstiling players with his skating ability. He's a great skater, great shooter, great passer. He's kind of the whole package for the Detroit Red Wings, the next generation of brilliant Swedish defensemen. 2:29 to go in this third period. Puck is rolled along the near side boards out to center. Slovakia is going to move north in a hurry here and get going, but is it going to matter as Sweden's able to play the big stick game and get going back in the other direction, closing in on 2 minutes remaining in this third period of play. Puck along the near side boards. Sweden rolling through the middle of the ice, and it's cut off by Slovakia, who's got a chance back the other way. Again, a strong stick check there. And it looks like we'll have a penalty to close out the game, as that was a massive hit and a little bit of a brawl ensuing here as Gustafsson goes to the box, as Janko took a hit up high, and Gustafsson is being ushered to the box rather quickly as Janko took a hard spill. Looked like he might have got his head wrung a little bit. As Gustafsson is in the box here. Janko's to his feet, skating back to the bench now. What exactly happened there? Oh, he got slammed into the boards from behind. A solid body check into the spine. And that will do it. A body check into the numbers that close to the boards definitely will hurt a guy for sure. So that's what happened. And now we have a power play for Slovakia to close out the hockey game. At least that's the way it'll finish up, unless Slovakia can come up with 4 goals. But you would assume it is done and dusted here for the Slovakian side in the hockey game today, friends. Like I said, if you are new to the channel, consider hitting that subscribe button, sticking around for the World Juniors coverage. Would love to have you aboard for the Oilers stuff as well. Honestly, it would be my pleasure to keep you updated with the Edmonton Oilers as the season goes along. I know they aren't everybody's team, but why not, right? Why not? Why not stay up to date? So, yeah, we are just waiting to close out this game now as we continue to watch Sweden kind of toy with Slovakia the whole way home. Really a tough finish for Slovakia, who had played such a good start of the hockey game, and now they're reviewing this to see if it should be a 5-minute major against Slovakia. Not really sure that's a 5-minute major penalty, but kind of the Slovakia player turned into it a bit. Yeah, just kind of turned, got caught, and got hit in the same motion. So not sure how the referees are going to rule this one home, but either way, gives us a few more minutes to hang out here on stream today and stay up to date with what's happening as USA-Germany is about to get underway. It'll be a 2-minute penalty. And Grant, thank you for hanging out this evening. Really do appreciate, well, this afternoon, this morning, whenever it is. Do appreciate you hanging out. I know it's been kind of shoddy because of the nasal congestion, but I'm doing my best here today, trying to fight through it as Slovakia wins the face-off. They've got a little bit of anger in them here to try and score at least a goal that makes it 5-2. Dvorsky fires a shot off the shin pads. It goes off of a body wide into the corner. Sweden fought it back out to the blue line, and then that puck goes up over to play into the netting with a $1:45 to go in both the power play and the hockey game. There's not much time remaining for Slovakia to get much done here, as they're showing the replay of this one going up over top of the net. Oh man, tip off the crossbar and out of play is Stravik fires the shot. It goes tipped right there, and then actually off the helmet. Sorry, it kind of had that upward motion, but it went off the helmet actually of the goaltender Thielen. Pass over across to the far side as Slovakia won another drop off the skates. It goes back to the blue line. $1:33 to go in the power play and $1:33 to go in the game as both teams rolling around here past the middle of the ice. Scores! Jammed in front. Janko, the penalty drawer, scores a goal there for Slovakia. That one was really low event. Just kind of banged one home in front. A 5-2 score now. Like I said, I didn't think Slovakia was fully done. I expected them to score one more before the game was over, and that was the one they just scored. As Janko in front looking for the tip. The shot came in from the blue line. And, well, from the sidewall? Yeah, was it from... No, it was from the blue line. I was going to say, I don't remember that. Oh, no, it was from the side. Never mind. As Janko just kind of jams that one home. Sorry, they wound that play back a long way. And Packer Sarek just finds that puck to the middle of the ice for Janko, who is able to jam it home through the pads of Thielen. And this one becomes a 5-2 score, so you love to see it. $1:25 to go in this third period. 5-2 the score. Is Slovakia able to score a big goal to at least cut the goal differential? Like I said, for Slovakia, the big key to having success in this tournament is going to be the goal differential. And in a minute 15, if they can score one more to cut it to only a -2, it's going to help them a long ways. As the shot fired around to the far side, picked up now by Slovakia again. And we're going to have a stoppage and play interference call coming up against Slovakia, I guess, here late in this third period. So a minute 05 for Axel Sandin Pellikka to potentially score his 4th goal of the game. 59:38 to go. Or sorry, 59:38 on the stream. My apologies, I'm reading numbers backwards. But yeah, big heavy check behind the boards, behind the net boards. Am I still awake? What's going on here? 2-minute power play for Sweden. 5-2 the score. $1:05 to go in the power play now. Or $1:05 to go in the game. Jeez. Guys struggling here. Trying to make it make sense. Hopefully I can get some rest for Canada's game tonight. As this will be a face-off for Sweden inside the offensive zone. You know Sandin Pellikka's out there. Been struggling with that all game as well. This one bounced around the boards. Nice clearance by Slovakia inside the last minute to play here in today's third period. Rolling up the middle of the ice now. Sweden carrying across the blue line to the far side it goes. Pass to the middle. Now nice play right there. Back to the blue line. Sandin Pellikka's got that shot. Doesn't matter where he's shooting it from. He can score. They're going to try and queue up that one-timer one more time. He's going to try and pass the puck. There it is. Shot goes in. Save made by Urban, though, who again has had a pretty solid night. All things considered, tipped it in front. Scramble in the crease, and Urban will come up with that puck with 27.2 seconds. And more pushing and shoving between Sweden and Slovakia here in this third period. As Sandin Pellikka is going to try and close out this game with 5 points. If he can score another one here on the power play, but huge save by Urban to keep him at bay. As Sandin Pellikka has been ripping the one-timers from the face-off dot all game long. And look at this one here. He was still looking around trying to score another goal yet late here in this third period. Sweden just 27 seconds away from winning a hockey game as this one's tipped up and out of the danger area by Urban. This one will go over to the far side as we've got a different unit on here in this late third period power play for Sweden. 15 seconds to go now, 10 seconds to go as they try to close out shop here. The shot fired towards the net, blocked in front. And this will go to the far side boards and tie up to end the hockey game. A 5-2 final for Sweden over top of Slovakia. Friends, thank you so much for spending your time with me here this evening. How about 6,003 views on the stream? So for just about 3 hours, just about 2,000 views now. I'd love to see that. Thank you for hanging out with me today again. I will tell you, make sure to subscribe. It'll be your easiest way to find me again today for Canada versus Finland. But this will close out Game 1 of the 2025 World Junior Championships in Ottawa. Thanks for being aboard. Appreciate it. I will tell you again, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, and I will see you for Canada, Finland later today.